What's going on, everybody? I hope you all had an amazing weekend, and I hope you was tapped into the basketball world because we have so much to talk about on this beautiful Monday. There was a brawl yesterday. Malice in the Palace. Well, not necessarily in the Palace, but Malice with the Pistons, part two. We still got to talk about Taylor Jenkins getting fired and who his replacement is and what this means for the Memphis Grizzlies. We also have a lot of basketball to unpack, including some NCAA hoops. The Final Four stage is set. Before we get into that, what's going on, fellas? How we
Running
looking?
good, Ron. Running good, Ron G. Running good. Some good basketball this weekend. Great time of year. Loving it.
Yeah, I actually just want to open up the floor and see what you guys got that's most important on your agendas. Swiper, Mars, chat.
I like what they're doing in Minnesota. I do. And the only reason why Minnesota hasn't moved up in the standings is because Golden State has been rolling, because the Clippers was rolling. It seems like they're starting to put it together in Minnesota. I really like what they're doing there. I do. Julius Randle has been playing really good lately, even though I feel like there's a part of Swiper and I disagree on this, even though I think Rudy Gobert's still been fantastic this year as a defender. I feel like he slows them down. There's a part of me that feels like he slows them down. But defensively, he's been great. And he kicked Duran's ass last night. Every bit of it. He kicked Duran's ass last night, all the way around. And I just love the fact that they stepped up to the challenge and went back at Detroit, because there's teams that Detroit has basically pushed around with their physicality and grittiness. And Minnesota didn't back down from them last night. It just seemed like one of those games. So I like what Minnesota's doing right now. I feel like I'm getting more playoff basketball from them right now, and I feel like it's gonna translate into the playoffs.
I mean, wasn't a majority of their rotation, if not their whole rotation?
Yeah, they were gone. So yeah, I don't. I think that last night was such an anomaly, just because after the suspension, I mean, Detroit was clearly kicking their head in, and then I think once the brawl went out, they lose all the players in the rotation they did, including their head coach. And that's when everything shifted. But yeah, I think that they're really good though. I feel like I've been on this for a minute. They've been they're a top 10 defense, top 5 offense, top 10 offense, top 5 defense, adjusted this season. And so I think they've been playing very good basketball. The problem is they might end up in the 7th or 8th spot. If they end up in the 7th spot, good for them. But the Clippers are also rolling. The Warriors are rolling. The Mavericks and the Kings are probably locked into the 9-10. But it's really going to come down. I think the Clippers are Wolves, and I think if they face each other in a play-in, there's a pathway for Kawhi Leonard and James Harden and Zoo to beat them in a 1-game sample size. And now they're fighting for their lives for that 8th game.
Yep.
And then
they're only half a game out, Swiper, behind the Warriors.
But the Warriors the Warriors are an easy schedule, and then I think there's a world where that 5 seed, somebody ends up hopping to that 5 seed, and then whoever gets that 6, maybe it's the Grizzlies too. Maybe the Grizzlies just keep falling, but
I think that they do, Swiper. To be honest with you, considering what's going on in Memphis right now, and I think we will get to that, but I don't want to. I understand how less difficult the Golden State Warriors schedule has been, but even with Minnesota's schedule being more difficult, I mean, I just like the way that they're playing right now. To your point, when you talked about Detroit having that game in hand, I mean, they did start to put it together. I feel like that was Detroit's own doing. I felt like they were the ones who were trying to push Minnesota around, and Minnesota pushed back. And because they pushed back, Detroit was the ones who got themselves in trouble, and Holland ended up getting tossed. Who I find him in a lot of scuffles lately, which last night I don't think was his fault, to be honest with you.
That was Dante DiVincenzo that started up.
Yeah, I don't think that was his fault. That was a hard foul, and Naz Reid didn't appreciate it, and Hollins wasn't going to get pushed around. Now, what it looked like to me from DiVincenzo's perspective was, that's enough out of this young dude. That's enough out of you, and that's enough out of you dudes pushing us around. That's what it seemed like to me. But once that whole thing got situated, Minnesota I felt like they just took control of the game. And Rudy in particular, they couldn't keep him off the glass. I thought he was the difference in the game last night. They couldn't keep him off the glass. I felt like he just destroyed Duran and anybody else who was down there. And I feel like if if Isaiah Stewart was down there, he would have done the same thing to him too.
Yeah, I mean, he's the second most important player in their team, so yeah, it makes sense.
I'm not sure if I'd argue that. I just feel like
you have to argue it because their defense is what's carrying them to this point. So this whole it is. I mean, the people just strange with this. Rudy is obviously the thing that holds them together. Like if they go all offense, they're going to be a worse team. Like that's been proven.
That part I can get.
So
Yep,
the issue is Rudy is by far being unheralded this year defensively because he's Rudy Gobert, and we all know what that's about. It's not actually about hoops. He's been excellent for a majority of the year, especially since he's been healthy. But him and Randall has worked around. Randall has figured out how to play with these dudes, and he's hitting his shots. So, like, that's why this stuff is working right now. Plus, Ant being able to do what he's doing, Dante DiVincenzo being healthy now, Naz Reid being available, Mike Conley having a resurgence after the first part of the year where he was horrible. So there's several things that are working all together, but they're not going anywhere if Rudy Gobert is not, like, winning his minutes. That has to happen.
But to your point, I feel like they want to play fast, but there's a part of me that just feels like Rudy slows them down in transition. I don't know why, but there's just a part of me that feels like he slows them down, even though he's their best rebounder, he's their best rim protector. He should speed them up because he rebounds, because they get out, because he rim protects and gets the ball out. He should speed them up. I just feel like there's a part of me that
why would bigs don't speed you up that way traditionally? Embiid doesn't speed up the 76ers. Bam doesn't speed up the Heat. The only big that really speeds you up, it's like a Jokic, but Jokic is a different type of player. Rudy, you don't ask a big to start transition in this kind of scheme like Bill Russell did, obviously, like Hakeem did at times, but that's just not what Rudy does. And the issue is like they funnel. So much of what the Wolves do is funneling, and they funnel to Rudy, and even that allows them to gamble more on the perimeter. So, like, they have the players that allow for the defensive playmaking and the aggression, but one of the things that allows for them to be as aggressive as they are is the fact that they know they have Rudy back there. So, like, there's several things that work around why Chris Finch has optimized their personnel to be built around like Rudy and what they're doing, and then obviously Anthony Edwards and Jaden McDaniels.
Well, I don't know if that's news though, but to your point, Swiper, I don't know if that's. I mean, they've always done that with Rudy, being able to gamble more on the perimeter because they got Rudy behind them. But because of the injury that he's had, he does look a little slower. He doesn't look like the Rudy of old, and he's starting to look like an older Rudy. Even though he's still great on the glass, he's still great at the rim in terms of a rim protector. He just doesn't seem to be moving his feet as he did a year ago. Now, I think that maybe it's because he got hurt. This back injury might be affecting him a lot more than it did in the past, and I think that this offseason he'll be able to heal from it. But as of right now, he just seems a little slower, which seems to me like it's slowing them down. But defensively, he's still great. He is.
Well, Chuck, the initial point I thought you had said about the rebounding, I think that does. It should speed you up. At least it definitely has the potential to. Not so much on the defensive end, like to your point, Swiper, but I'm more so focused on that. Like when I got a guy like Rudy, where I know he's eating up the glass, I know he's going to get, most likely going to get the rebound. It allows especially my point guard, shooting guard, especially allows them to get out. You know what I'm saying? Allows my other big to get out and run the floor. Allows me to know, okay, I'm getting the ball, boom, I'm getting it up the court. I think that definitely, regardless of the defensive scheme, I think having a glass hitter like Rudy Gobert can definitely speed up your transition offense.
And what I want to do also, guys, is Miles, I know how you feel about your Rockets. I do. I know how you feel about your Rockets. But I feel like we get this, we get wrapped up in this. If the team isn't winning it, they suck. And that's all I've been hearing about these Rockets. That's all. And I don't want to change the subject. I want to stay on Minnesota. The reason why I'm thinking this is because what Minnesota is doing and what Houston is doing. And if Minnesota ends up in that 7 spot and Houston ends up in that 2 spot, these two will probably see each other in the playoffs. If Minnesota beats them, I don't think this is going to be a wash like people think. I think this is going to be. That's what I'm thinking, Ron.
I don't care if it goes 4 games. It's going to be a 4-game.
I don't even see it as
closest sweep in NBA history.
Close. I don't see it that way, man.
I don't think it's going to be a sweep. I was just saying that to make a point. I think it's Minnesota got they got it up against them, and so's the Rockets. And I really can't call that series. I don't know.
Minnesota spanking them.
I don't know, bro.
Spanking them, Ox? Spanking them?
Spanking them like a hard 5, easy 6. You know what I mean? Like
I ain't never heard of an easy 6. I heard of a handling 6, but I ain't never heard of an easy 6. I think that's
easy 6 are blowout games.
Easy 6 like Celtics Hawks, you know? Like that.
Like, do you think that, Swiper, you think that was an easy 6 when y'all beat Phoenix? Because y'all smoked them in the games that y'all won.
Yeah, it was blowouts. And
y'all the 4 games that you won, I think that
two single-digit wins for the Suns. Yeah, 2 single-digit wins for the Suns that they had really, really hot shooting in, and then blowouts in every other game. I mean, I would say that's
y'all won by an average margin of like 14 a game, something like that.
Yeah,
something to that effect. But with Minnesota, Ron, I feel like with their rotation and with Alexander Walker now knocking down the long ball, the way he's knocking down the long ball, and the way that their defense shifts the way it does. Alexander Walker, that's his name, right? Or is it Walker Alexander?
He's trying to get credit for
No. I just want you to say his name correctly. Say his whole name. Nikola Alexander Walker.
Nikola Alexander Walker.
Man himself.
I thought I was saying something wrong. I'm sorry. Okay. And the way that defense shifts as of late, I mean, I think they're gonna be trouble in the playoffs, man. I do. But the way that Houston team plays, defense in particular, the way that Houston team plays on the perimeter, I think they're gonna be hell for you. I think they're gonna be hell for Minnesota. And I think Dylan Brooks. I think that.
What perimeter defenders on the Rockets?
All of them.
I'm in Thompson. That's it.
All of them.
Sorry, that's it.
All of them. Dylan Brooks, Thompson.
No, that's
all of those.
Anthony Edwards.
The top 5 smartest defender in NBA history, Fred VanVleet, just means nothing.
Here go with you agendas. But no,
I don't know. Swiper, they got some bigger wings they can throw over there, and I mean, obviously guys like Jabari, you can't necessarily.
They play drop coverage versus Mike Conley,
but I do believe that they got enough wings over there.
And even if they did, I'm
No, you're not.
Yes, I am. Just to Ron's point about Lou Dort. Mike Conley gonna have to knock down shots. I'll live with that.
Mike Conley's one of the best shooters in the league.
So do it. So do it then. Do it.
Mike Conley is like a legit sniper though, especially versus drop. Bless you.
Sniper?
Yeah, he's a sniper versus drop. He's
one
of the best.
No.
He an old head that'll throw one in occasionally. But
you got Anthony Edwards, you got Nikhil, you got Julius Randle, Hills guy.
Mike Conley. So
they got Dante DiVincenzo. Nah, they got some shooters.
They do.
We don't play drop coverage. I don't.
I'm just saying. I brought it up. That's cool. That's cool. But what? So it. Man, look.
The thing about the Wolves is they real experienced. Well, not crazy experience, but all of them guys were in the playoffs.
Very experienced, Ron. That's like crazy. They are very experienced.
Julius Randle, Jaden McDaniels had a deep run in the playoffs last year. Mm-hmm. Obviously, Rudy, his stint with the Jazz, and now with the Wolves, and he got his test in the playoffs last year. Dante DiVincenzo with the Knicks last year. Obviously, Mike Conley, he might have the longest tooth in the league. So, like, you know, these dudes.
We got Jeff Green. Experience.
He's not in the rotation, Mom.
And MA.
He is in the rotation.
Fred VanVleet, championship experience. Steven Adams experience.
Dylan Brooks.
Dylan Brooks experience. Jock Landon was on that Suns team that lost to the Nuggets. Experience.
Don't bring up Jock Landon. Don't do that, Mars.
That's experience. What you want to tell?
No, don't do that. You think he's gone.
Alperen Şengün played in the playoffs in Turkey. Amen Thompson, OTE champion. Jaden G League playoffs. Like, we got experience.
You did hear that right, Ron. Yes, you did. You heard that correctly. We got
experience.
It was funny. It was funny, but it matters though. It was funny, but that's legit.
We got experience. Guys ain't.
At least I think so.
I want to see a Zoo.
Coach has been in the playoffs.
I want to see Zoo or Rudy versus Şengün in the series. Probably Zoo. I like to see Clippers.
Zoo hasn't played very well against the Rockets, but we don't.
Okay, well, respect small sample size.
That's fine. That's fine. But Şengün doesn't guard Zoo. He guards Chris Dunn, and then you have like Jabari or whoever, and you switch.
Who showed yesterday? Chris Dunn showed yesterday that he's going to be outside of the defense. He's going to be unplayable in the playoffs.
He
can't make open shots.
Teams aren't good.
That's another one of your men.
He can't make open shots. I watched that Clipper game yesterday.
Spot up shooting NBA. Let me go to Chris Dunn's stats.
Say his full name.
Well, you can tell me the numbers all day you want. I'm watching him yesterday,
right now.
And they specifically left him open.
Who he play for?
And made him shoot shots.
Hey, chill. Either way though, chill. Like unplayable as y'all say he is right there. If I'm Ty Lue, he playing.
No, he
Like,
didn't.
I don't.
But yeah,
I
he's
don't
gonna
give
play.
I don't give a damn about that. You got your
No,
point.
it is
that bad.
concerning that he shoots 3 threes a game. 2.5 of them are wide open, and he shoots 30.
Wide open, Mars.
Ain't that
I-
bad.
I'm not concerned. I'm not concerned in the least bit.
0.89 points per possession. You know, it's not terrible. It's not horrible.
Now,
you know,
but now,
But you can like Chris Dunn and acknowledge the fact that his offense is a concern.
that's okay. That's okay,
We
Swiper.
can-
hey,
Swiper, is this an issue with you?
all I see is March, Jalen Green, and Chris Dunn. So I don't know what to tell you. That's same
What?
vision as you. Same vision as you. Same
Hell
vision
no.
as you. You get lost
Hell
on small
no.
sample size. So do I.
Now, Ron, I know
When has Chris Dunn ever been able to shoot?
Ron, I know we. I know
Utah, 2 years ago, April.
You know how I feel about this.
Hey, yo, real talk must have knocked a couple of screws loose in you yesterday, Swiper.
I've been here with Chris Dunn.
I know how. You know how I feel about Houston. You know how I'm praising Minnesota. Ron, am I in the minority that I'm blown away about how bad Phoenix is? Like, that is awful basketball.
They've been terrible for like 5 months now. Like
They
it's not
are
even- it's not even
awful.
surprising.
I'm watching them. I mean, that's how you handle a bad basketball team. That's why I'm big on Houston. But I'm watching this Phoenix team. They get nothing at the lead guard spot. You have to be able to score at the lead guard spot in the pros. You have to. And they don't get anything. They rely heavily on Kevin Durant to score. And they got one of the better scoring guards in the game in Devin Booker. And it looks like they rely heavily on KD to score. On top of that, Houston, they got to the rim yesterday however they wanted, and they got whatever they wanted at the rim. Why? Because they get nothing from their 5 spot. 0. No rim protection. Nobody in the paint making somebody go the other way. None of that is going on in Phoenix. I'm blown away by how bad they were. I thought that they weren't going to make the playoffs because I thought that the Western Conference was going to be a nightmare, and it wasn't ridiculous that they would end up in the 8th or the 9th spot and get bounced in the play-in. Ron, I'm telling you right now, this is an awful basketball team. Awful.
KD got his bags packed. Everything. Hey, the whole
He
house
coming
is
to
packed.
Houston, man. He coming to Houston.
This
we
whole
gonna welcome
house is
KD.
packed.
We gonna welcome KD with open arms. It's gonna be great. It's unfortunate he got hurt last night. So that's tough. But yeah, Phoenix.
How long is that injury, Moss? I
don't know. His ankle.
If it's January, how long is he out?
I mean, it depends what the team's playing for. I don't know. His ankle.
He's out till October. He's done. He's
36. He's 36. His ankle just touched the floor, and the Suns have no hope of doing anything.
2 weeks from tomorrow, the play-in tournament starts.
He's not playing, chill.
He's not gonna be in the play-in tournament. He's not gonna be there.
Playing.
The Suns ain't gonna be there anyway.
No, the
The
Kings are
only thing
locked.
is maybe KD wants to make an All-NBA team, so he comes back for 3 games. Like maybe I don't know.
No.
I don't. It didn't look great.
He's out for it. I mean, with that, if it's a grade 1, it's like 1 or 2. If it's a grade 2, it's 4 to 6, and he's done. So
it didn't look great. I'll say that it didn't look great.
It did not.
But yeah, the
But
Suns.
this
Here's what it is.
But this is the thing with that though, Mars. My bad. But this is the thing with that though is if they do look at this like they can get to the playing tournament, or they want to get to the playing tournament. I mean, if it's not structural, technically, you know what I'm saying, you can play through the pain if it's just a pain tolerance thing, which I don't know if they're gonna do that, but
Big Ox.
who knows?
He's done.
Well, I said that. I said he's done till October. I think he's done.
No. I'm not talking about that he can't play on it. He's done with Phoenix. He wants nothing to do with
He's
Phoenix.
checked out mentally.
I know what type of locker room this is. It's the locker room where D-Book just be in the back. He don't say nothing. Bradley Beal be on his phone the whole time. When Coach Bud walk in the locker room, everybody put their head down and start sighing like, "Oh, here we go again."
Are we just waiting for the season to be over, Ron? That's what it sounds like. Are we waiting for the
KD
season
don't
to
even
be
shower after practices and games. He just go in and grab his car keys and get the hell out of there as fast as he can. He wants nothing to do with this situation.
He got a seat cover in that motherfucker.
Probably not, but you know, he probably got
like apparently Devin
right?
Booker talks too much, so I don't know if that's apparently he's too vocal, so I don't know. But
how you gonna tell him to stop?
The Suns suck. Crazy. I don't know. But the Suns suck. It is what it is. They've sucked from day one. They still suck now. They thought Nick Richards was the savior. He's not. They thought Tyus Jones was the savior. He wasn't.
I did too.
They're starting Colin Gillespie in the NBA. Swiper, do you think Colin Gillespie?
He had a good. He had a good.
Do you think Colin Gillespie is a starting point guard in the NBA?
Hey, man, shout out Colin.
I didn't tell them to go start Tyus Jones and go small in the first place. So,
and the only reason I was Swiper is because obviously he knows Colin Gillespie well due to where he has
he's a coach's. He's like a coach's son. He'll do what he's asked to do. He just is physically underwhelming. So,
But
So,
shout out to you,
Swiper,
Colin Gillespie. Like, goddamn, like let's be serious. Like, this is ridiculous.
Swiper, you had brought up Golden State's schedule, and we were talking about Golden State and Minnesota. I want to transition back to that. So, Minnesota, their last 7 games.
Chill, right quick. But before we get into that, let's talk about it, because we were talking about the Wolves. We talked briefly about the Pistons, but as you guys know, there was a brawl yesterday in the NBA, resulting in, well, a lot of people getting thrown around and a lot of people getting ejected. There were 7 ejections between the Wolves and the Pistons. Starting with the Pistons, they lost Marcus Sasser, Ron Harland, who basically the whole thing started around, Isaiah Stewart, which obviously he was going to find his way in the middle of this scuffle no matter what. They also lost Coach Bickerstaff, and the Wolves lost Dante DiVincenzo, Naz Reid, and shout out the GOAT Pablo Prigioni. I just want to throw up some pictures, and I want to hear how you guys felt about this whole little malice that we had in Minnesota last night. So this is kind of the start of everything. Ron Holland and Dante DiVincenzo. If you didn't get a chance to see it, run the social media as fast as possible. I wish I could play the clip for you, but I can't.
You know what that was right there? You see that picture right there? You know what that is, right? That was Dante. That was Dante thinking that bro was a sore, trying to get his lick back for Tyler.
Okay.
That's all that was.
Shit, they better be lucky a sore was on the bench.
Whenever I see guys step to guys like
Look
that,
at him. Look at him, Jill. But go ahead.
It's nuts, bro.
Whenever I see guys step to guys like that, that's not something that's out the blue. And DiVincenzo, he straight went after Holland. And he went after Holland. That seemed like something that was brewing all game long. All game long. And I said this earlier in the show. I find Holland wrapped up in some scuffles throughout the court. And to be 19, like what are we doing? Like, is he trying to let everybody know that I'm not the one that you push around here? I can appreciate that. I definitely can apprate that. But he's been in a couple of scuffles this year.
Dante elevated that situation though. Like that was
100%. That was the 100. All it was a foul. But let's be clear.
Naz Reid shouldn't have responded like that either. It wasn't even crazy.
I don't even think the foul was crazy. I seen it and I was like, oh, okay.
But you guys know things like that usually didn't start on that play.
That's what I'm saying, Ron.
It was ramping up. You could just
it probably started at the club the night before, and
you saw it
elevated to the game.
Nothing that
you saw it in the beginning of the game with DiVincenzo and Isaiah Stewart before we even get to the jump. That's where we're starting at. We get to the jump ball, and those two have some action. That's starting right there, and then we go from that. Yeah, I was just saying, crazy as it seemed, and this sounds crazy because dude is crazy. It seemed like Dante really just like he wanted it with Isaiah or something.
Yes, Dante.
I'm like, bro, you don't gotta be no punk, Ron. You crazy. It's not about being a punk. It's like of all the dudes, that's the one you want.
Dante, the type of guy that I want on my team, though.
No doubt.
He act the way he play. The way he play defense, that's the way he act. That seems like that's who he is.
I'm gonna tell you the truth. I didn't see nothing wrong with what happened last night. It's the end of the season. It's the end of the season. The pressure, it's attention is rising. It's a lot going on in that court that we can't hear. And on top of that, nobody got punched. So no punches were thrown. It was a scuffle. So okay,
yeah, no big deal. What if somebody said your people smell like honey bunches of oats? Now what?
Honey bunches of oats.
What people?
So I don't know.
Honey Nut Cheerios. Remember that?
That's not Honey Nut Cheerios. That's Fruity Pebbles.
Hey, shout out Honey Nut Cheerios.
What I'm saying, Ron, is I don't see.
Because we ready to fight.
I think that's a message being sent. To be honest with you, to be honest with you, I think that's a message being sent.
Like right
to
here?
Minnesota that we're not going to be pushed around, right? We're not going to be pushed around. We're not going to be roughed up. Once we stop all of this stuff and then we get back to basketball, I saw what Minnesota was made of because they could have completely just went to pieces. But no. And to your point, Swiper, that foul on Naz Reid, that was just something that was brewing all game. It was a hard foul across the arm. Normally we just go to the free throw line. I ain't tripping on it. But he stepped to Holland like there was something going on between them two even before he did that.
All right, could you get this thing off the screen, Ron? This dude is scaring me, bro.
All I know is Detroit stood on business yesterday, all around. If you know, you know. Shout out Gifted.
Man, I'm not gonna lie to you. If I had to rank people, I would actually be hesitant to like scrap with. Isaiah Stewart's not at the top of the list. I'm not gonna lie.
No.
At this point, he talked too much. Like, so I'm like, at this point, we're in different territory now. I mean, you can be big and strong and all that stuff, but forget all that, bro. The quiet ones are the ones. I'm still to this day like the quiet ones are the one. Like if you ain't said nothing and all of a sudden you say something, that's a different story.
That's a cool thing to go by, but. And I don't even know if Isaiah Stewart can fight or any of that type of stuff. I have no idea. But he just wants to fight. And it's like, bro, what's wrong with you, bro? Like,
he's picking on the right people, though. But he's always picking on the right people, though.
You gotta chill.
Like, you picking on LeBron. What's LeBron finna do? I'm finna waste my I spend more money on my body than you get in your check. This is not a win for me. This is not a win. I could buy your everything you own, including your spot on the team, I could buy.
What
they got nothing to do with anything. LeBron ain't finna fight nobody, dog. He is Mr. PC. That's not going nowhere.
What about Thomas Bryant? What about Thomas Bryant?
Thomas Bryant, he might as well work at the kindergarten, bro. He's the nicest dude in the league. Who's Thomas Bryant, bro?
He didn't seem like that when they got into it.
Isaiah needs to do some meditating, bro. He needs to meditate and get his chakras aligned, bro. He need to calm down, do some breathing exercises before he get kicked out the league.
He ain't said nothing to Ant. Tell you that much.
Ant was on the court.
All right, bet. Cool. Good for you.
You know, Ant probably got some people on that sideline up.
Ant from Atlanta, bro.
Don't touch him. Hey, bro, Swiper. Some people you just don't touch him.
Don't touch him. Leave me alone. I got an entourage with me. Posse, as Phil Jackson would say.
Yeah, well, it's a cool thing. Suspensions have not yet been dished out, whether there will be any suspensions or not. But it is a good thing that Ant wasn't on the floor. It's a good thing that Jaden McDaniels, Cade Cunningham, a lot of these teams, other
Jaden for sure. Players. Yeah, that's another crash out right there.
Jaden, oh my god.
Oh yeah.
Hey, that would have been.
That's another crash out. Remember, Drake. Now he'll punch a wall for no reason and take himself out the playoffs.
He's a quiet one too. Like he don't say much.
That's stupid.
He don't say nothing, bro.
Yeah, he don't say much.
Hey, what did they call him in San Francisco? The cameraman, Ron, a striker. He a striker. Leave him alone.
So if you look at Minnesota's schedule, these last 7 games, because Swiper brought up the Golden State Warriors, right? So if you look at Minnesota's schedule, they at Denver, they at Brooklyn, at Philly,
2-0,
at Milwaukee,
4-0,
at Milwaukee, at Memphis.
Hey,
they got Brooklyn at home, and they got Utah. They might run the table these last 7 games.
7-0. Yeah, 7-0.
They could.
Maybe 5-2. Like maybe 5-2. 7.
What's the Warriors rest of the season though?
The Warriors rest of this season, their schedule.
Play us. I know that.
I can tell you right now. Hang on for 1 second. Yep. So the Golden State Warriors, they just played New Orleans last night, right? They just played New Orleans.
They played San Antonio last night.
San Antonio. I don't know why I said so they played San Antonio last night and beat them by like almost 60, something goofy like that. And then now the rest of their schedule, their last 7 games, they at Memphis,
win,
at the Lakers,
win,
Denver. They got Denver at home.
Win.
1-2 right now. 1-2 right now.
They got Denver at home. They got Houston at home.
Win.
2-2. 2-2 for sure.
They go to Phoenix.
3-2.
They're at home against San Antonio.
4-2.
They got to go to Portland, and then they play the Clippers.
Who cares?
6-2, 5-3. Yeah, that's what they go.
No, shut up.
Lakers
are what? The Lakers are going 2-5 rest of the way.
Well, they play us tonight, so that's 1 win.
The Lakers play you guys tonight.
Yeah.
The rest of the Lakers schedule is tonight they play you guys, and then let's see here. They got you guys tonight, and then they got you guys tonight, and then they got Golden State on Thursday.
2-0.
They got New Orleans Friday.
3-0.
They got Oklahoma City back-to-back, Sunday and Tuesday.
Will they play anybody?
Yeah, that depends who OKC. Okay, 3-2. They losing both of them. OKC can play no one and still win.
They got Oklahoma City back-to-back. They got Oklahoma City Sunday and then Tuesday. And then Wednesday, they're in Dallas. Then they're at home next Friday against you guys, Mars. And then they got to go to Portland.
Was that 4-4 maybe?
So 500.
It's probably that's why.
That's probably going to drop them though.
How many wins would that get them to? Like 48, 49?
As of right now, let's see where they are.
See,
right
Lakers
now.
are 45 and 49, 29. So 49 and about
45 and 29. Can they get 5 more? If they get 5 more wins, they have 50 wins.
They can get
5 more wins. I think they could get 5 wins that put them at 50. I don't think that's ridiculous.
5 of their next 8,
So-
they could. I mean, they win tonight. They beat New Orleans. That's 2. They beat us again. That would be 3. And Portland. That's 4. Then they just have to win 1 of OKC and Dallas and Golden State.
Where's
It's
that game
possible.
at against? Are y'all at home against the Lakers?
No, we're in LA. Both times.
But then
Oh,
the other side, the Clippers have the Magic, they have the Pelicans, Mavericks, Spurs, Rockets, Kings, and then Warriors. So
I think they got.
We
one of
just
the
play
toughest
all of these teams fighting for playoff seedings. This is ridiculous.
that's tough.
schedules. Yeah, I think they got one of the
Nah.
toughest playoff schedules.
It's tough for y'all to prove
Remaining
yourself.
schedules. Yeah,
I mean, we chilling. We losing tonight just off the back-to-back. But like, then we play the Jazz. We have to beat the Jazz. And then it's OKC, Golden State, Clippers, Lakers, Nuggets. Like,
Damn.
okay.
So
As long as we go like 3-2 in our last 5, I'll be happy.
The Nuggets
2
will
and
not
3,
be
I'll
playing
say.
that last game, so that should be a win.
Yeah, I don't expect you guys to be playing. If we've secured the 2 seed, the only guy I expect to play will be Jalen Green, just because he's passionate about playing all 82. Everyone else will probably take the game off.
I'm
You get a week
feeling
off
that.
before the
Yo.
plan.
What, that he plays
I'm
every
definitely
game?
feeling that.
It's cool.
All right, fellas, we got a couple super chats. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to everybody that was tapped into the PCO this weekend. Shout out to everybody that's liked the video, and shout out to all of our new members and subscribers. Before we do move on, I just got to let you guys know one thing. Ox alluded to temperatures rising and scuffles and melees and brawls that happen here on PC as well. So anytime that I feel a situation is going to escalate, I'm going to give you guys a glimpse into the future of what may happen. And hopefully this can scare you guys. I guess apparently it scared Ox and just slow everything down. So if I ever put this on the screen, just know that we're heading this way. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Hey,
rumor has it Draymond was in the arena looking for Rudy, but he just couldn't make it to the court.
That's crazy.
But I seen him lurking, just trying to get him in a headlock, but just couldn't find him.
Did y'all see the aggression in this guy's face trying to grab Dante DiVincenzo?
Yeah.
He lived for these moments.
Yeah.
And it's
That's who he
crazy because
is.
like Isaiah Stewart is like, for whatever reason, known by like the mainstream as a crash out. But he's actually good. Like he's a good player.
He'd be an
But
all-league
he's a-
defender, Mars. He would be an all-league defender.
Isaiah Stewart's from
Uh,
Rochester, New York.
No, I'm not going that far. But like he's like he's a really good player. But he just doesn't.
And
get
he went-
acknowledgement.
And he went to a Catholic school in high school. Yeah, he might be a
bet.
crash out.
I bet he one of the nicest guys off the floor if you get to know who he is.
Yeah, probably. But a 6'8" New York crash out.
Kind of like Rasheed Wallace. Like Rasheed Wallace, one of the coolest dudes you ever want to meet. But you get him on the court, he won't choke. He won't choke. It just turns into a completely different guy. I don't know what it is about him. I don't know.
I don't know. I might take back what I said. Like Rochester got like some interesting folks in the city, bro. So he might be.
He's
He
a
might be a little
certified
different,
crash
bro.
out, Papa. You could
Just so you know, I've been to Rochester before. Rochester is not a nice place. It's wild as hell up there.
And he tall too.
He's
So,
6'9".
like, everybody looking for him. I don't know. You know, stay away, LeBron.
Shout out to Beef Stew. But all right, y'all, we got a couple super chats. My man Jason Grill chimed in before the show, and he has a question for everybody. He said, Bam is playing the best defense of his life, trying to hold my team together, but it's going unnoticed. Can we talk about it? This is the one-man defensive army.
Yeah, I seen Mars disrespect him on the timeline last night. That's why I
I
didn't
don't know if
interact
he's
with him.
playing the
Oh
best
no,
defense.
yeah, I
No,
forgot.
you
I
don't
forgot
get to
about.
fix it
I
after the
forgot about
fact. You don't get to
I
fix it
forgot
after
about
the
Bam.
fact.
I forgot about Bam.
No.
The moment I seen someone come, I was like, yeah, I acknowledge the errors of
Crazy.
my ways. But yeah, Bam's one of those players who fall victim to his offense regress. So now all of a sudden his defense isn't as good as it's always been. Bam is having an amazing defensive year. Just because he's not performing to the same level offensively, people aren't giving him the credit he still deserves defensively. Very weird concept how that works. But yeah, Bam's amazing.
Is he going to be an all-league defender this year again?
He should be. I don't know if he will be, but he definitely should be. There haven't been 10 better defenders than him. and he's going to hit the 65 game limit, so he definitely should be. I don't know 10 better than him personally. Oh, he's already played 72. My fault, man. But yeah, he's definitely should make it.
So we got the guy from does anybody from the Celtics make the All-League defensive team this year?
I don't think so.
Derek White. So nobody. So we got Mobley making it.
That's a name brand thing though. So
what's a name brand thing, Swiper?
The all NBA teams, all NBA defense for name brand awards.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No,
you have to build. No, you have to build. You have to build. Remember, Caruso got his start in LA, and then he went to Chicago, where people already knew.
So explain Herb Jones then. Explain Herb Jones. Why
Herb Jones was the SEC Defensive Player of the Year, and on game one, everybody knew they made a mistake.
College have to do with me playing and being an All-League defender?
Yeah, because he's nothing. He walked into the league, and it was like that was the worst. That was the worst miss we've had in a while for a wing. He literally walked in and he was a defensive ace from game one. Like that was like an anomaly. Like he walked in, he was elite.
Incredible that you bring that up, Swipe. But what if I told you that Donovan Mitchell was on the All-League defensive team in ACC? What if I told you that Russ
he didn't walk into the league. He walked into the league. He wasn't the same defender though. That's what I'm saying. Like Herb Jones cemented himself immediately. Donovan Mitchell was a good defender, but he just wasn't like that in the NBA. So I'm saying that typically when you win that award, you have to be like well regarded as a defensive player. Like for instance, SGA is taking a lot of good.
But your stance is off reputation. But I still have to prove that. And
SGA is going to get a lot of all defense votes this year because of rep is what I'm saying, because of his name. But he doesn't deserve it. But he might end up on the second team this year. So like that's what I'm saying. It's a reputation.
I mean, yeah, reputation definitely plays a huge part.
No, I'm not. That point I'm not arguing. However, Herb Jones, his reputation in college, yes, it did precede him in the NBA, but he didn't play for the Celtics. He wasn't on the Knicks.
But did you hear what I said though?
He was in New Orleans. I understand what you're saying. What you told me, Swiper, was that was name recognition.
It is a name brand.
Right.
But so you have anomalies like Herb Jones.
Now we're talking. Okay, so Herb Jones is the exception. All right.
Yeah, he's a 6'8" demon on the wing. Like that was a different. Yeah, he's 6'7". It was 6'7.5" registered, but he's like, and he has a 7'3", 7'4" wingspan or whatever else it is. Is like he didn't look like a spider monkey. Like as soon as he walked on the court, it was like, bro, what is going on? Like you can't score on him.
So
I didn't talk about that. Spider monkey is a Ben 10 reference, by the way. But
so we got Mobley. We got Mobley from the Cavs. Nobody from the Celtics is making the crew.
I think they could have one. But I think Tatum's been really good this year still.
I think he was too. I do.
I think
I think Tatum has the best case. I don't think he's gonna make it.
Derek White's another one like who's been good, but they're probably not gonna make it.
How about OG?
No.
Their defense has fallen off, dog. Like, but it's not OG's fault. I'll tell you that much.
So are we putting him in the same space that we putting Bam in? Because is the Miami Heat defense as good as it is? Even with Bam on the floor, or has their defense fallen off? Because Bam, for all intents and purposes, has been really good this year.
Miami are 11th in defense.
So they right outside.
I'm inclined to say 87% of that is because of Bam.
Sure. Okay. Is anybody from Indiana making an All-League defensive team?
No.
I mean, for how woke are we trying to be?
Nemhard, I don't think Nemhard has the game.
Yeah, how woke are we trying to be right now, Chill? That's the real question.
I don't think. Well, has Nemhard played enough? Let me see.
What
58 games.
No,
currently they're 43.
They got a couple good defenders. They got a couple really good.
If he plays every game the rest of the way, he's hit 65.
Yeah, but
he's still not gonna make it.
He's not gonna make it.
Yeah, he's not gonna make it. But
anybody from Detroit?
No.
Because I only got 2 guys right now. That's it. I got so nobody.
We'll get to the Western Conference.
Yeah,
anybody from Milwaukee? Giannis?
No.
Nobody from Milwaukee.
No.
Dyson Daniels is on the All-League defense.
Yeah, first team.
Okay, Dyson Daniels is All-League defender. How about from Orlando? So Jalen Suggs is out. So does that leave anybody else? Which Mars, yesterday I'm listening to you argue with Bob, and he brought up France as a defender. I'm like, holy shit. That was nuts. But anyway, okay.
Well, no. Right quick though. We'll touch back on that later. Go ahead, keep going.
Hey, that's Mr. Versatility. What are we talking about?
Yeah. So anybody from the Bulls?
No.
Bam.
Yes.
Okay, so I got 4 guys right now.
Yep.
Anybody from Toronto? Scotty Barnes, an All-League defender.
No, not this.
He's a all defensive caliber defender. But he's not gonna make it.
Nobody from Brooklyn.
No.
Nobody from Philly.
No.
Not yet.
Nobody from Charlotte.
No.
And Sar's not going to be an all-league defender this year.
No.
So now we move to Oklahoma City. How many guys are we getting on an all-league defensive team from that?
I
group?
think you should probably get 2.
Well, hold on.
How many and J-Dub, but I don't know.
How many
players? I think J-Dub is in. I think J-Dub.
I mean, J-Dub, Ludor, and Shea are the only ones who I think are eligible in terms of games played.
Thunder player stats, games played.
It will be Case and Ludor, Shea, and J-Dub. They're the only ones who will be eligible in terms.
All right, so you got games played here. So you got Ludor 66, J-Dub 63, Kaysen 63, Shea 71.
Yep.
iHeart 52.
They're the only ones.
Is Kaysen eligible in terms of minutes? Because you got to play over 20 minutes, right?
He's averaging.
He's averaging 27, but we'll see. Minutes played 32 plus 25. What is that?
32 plus 25.
That's 57, right?
Yeah.
Yep. 57.
So he needs to play 20 plus minutes in 8 games, and he'll be eligible.
That's
do they have 8 games?
2 minutes a game.
Yeah. What is that right now? 70. In the next 8 games, he has to play everyone and play 20 minutes. There's 8 games.
20 minutes total, or 20 minutes each game.
20 minutes each game.
Okay, I thought you meant total. I was like, that's 2 minutes a game.
No.
Okay, I'm
listening. Let's see, but at least 3 of them will be eligible: Ludor, Shea, and J-Dub. I think Ludor and J-Dub probably should make it, but we can carry on going down the list to see.
Okay,
because I don't know.
Houston. I think Thompson is an all-league defender.
Well, we're running out of spots. I'm just putting out.
We are.
The reason why I say Ludor and J-Dub.
The reason why I brought the reason why I brought this up, because I was thinking about, are there 10 guys in the league this season that was better than Bam? That's what I'm thinking about. Okay, so nobody from Denver is making an all-league defensive team. Nobody from the Lakers is making it. No. Jaren Jackson is going to make it.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody from I'm not going to say nobody from the Warriors. Draymond's going to
make it.
I think Draymond's going to be an all-league defender this year.
There's a lot of
Zubac is going to make it, by the way. They have the third. I think they have the 3rd best defense in the league right now, and he's been their defensive anchor. Does Rudy have enough games? I don't think he's got enough games.
He's played 65. He's played,
but he's not going to make it. Maybe he does. I don't know. Rudy's a weird case.
Yeah, this is interesting. I'm not going to lie. They might need to make a 3rd team all defense.
They should be.
Because the Clippers, Swiper, you think Zubac is in, but you also think Dunn is in too.
No, Dunn can't make it because of the stupid 65 game. They would have 2 though.
Dallas doesn't have anybody.
Nah, Lively could have if he would have stayed healthy.
He didn't play, so Sacramento doesn't have anybody.
And then every team down, Tamani's not gonna make it, despite how good I think he is defensively. He's not gonna make it.
Yeah, Keon Ellis. Funny enough. I know y'all gonna laugh at this. Y'all gonna laugh. If they would have been higher in the standings, Sabonis had an argument this year, but he's probably not going to make it. He hasn't marked this year. He has an argument.
What's Sabonis' argument? Whoa!
I think if they had 3 teams, Sabonis would get votes for the 3rd team. I think he's been.
I mean, he got votes for the 1st team last year. So.
Well, I know, but I'm saying like an actual vote, not that last year DPOY vote. That's what I'm saying.
I definitely.
And again, I will stand in the corner. I think if a player earns that gravitas, I will give it to you. And I think Sabonis has earned this year. It's like he's been a very good defensive player. That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
but that doesn't mean you give him all defensive.
No, I'm saying if there are 3 teams, I would not shy away from giving him a 15th or 14th vote.
Just like Ox's campaign for that 16-team tournament, I'm campaigning. We need to add a 3rd team to the all-league defensive team, and we need to add 3 more. And we need to add 3 more players to the All-Star team, so we get a 15-man roster.
Dang, Wemby's not going to make it either.
No Wemby. No Wemby. No Jalen Suggs. Not happening.
No Chet.
See, here's the thing. I feel like never mind. Go ahead, Ox, because Oran, go ahead.
We got another super chat from Jake Fascion. Jake said, do you think this is the best team Donovan Mitchell has had around him in his career? And do you think this is enough help for him to win an NBA championship?
Yes.
I think Donovan Mitchell is the help.
Yes.
So
that's exactly what it is. You figure, Ron, 2 years ago, this was a play-in team. You bring Donovan Mitchell on, they make the playoffs. And then they advance. And then here we are this season. They're at the top of the East. Even though all of those guys, Mobley, Garland, those guys have gotten better. Donovan Mitchell has been the difference. That's why they are where they are. So, yeah.
Donovan could easily just go back to being a playoff project this year, too. Maybe he's just posting all year.
His pull-up threes going, you kind of really just can't do anything. You just got to hope he's not making those shots.
I mean, he got busy last year in the playoffs before he got hurt against the Celtics.
Well, he struggled the first like 3 games against Orlando. Then he picked it up, and then he
had 51 and 39 and 6 and 7, I think.
Something like that. Yeah.
And then
once Donovan Mitchell catches a rhythm, it's just like there's not much you can really do because he's so fast, his handle's so good, and he's just so crafty.
Well, unless you put another guard on him that's built like him, then he struggles.
That pull-up game of his, Mars. Once you get going with that, it's pretty impossible to deal with him. Once you get that pull-up game going, and I mean, last season he shot the ball early. He didn't shoot the ball very well early, and then he got going late in the series. And then before he got hurt, I mean, he was playing good. In fact, he was the one who got them that win in Boston. I think it was game 2 that they won. Yeah, he was the one who got them that win in Boston. So, and his team has gotten progressively better over the years, progressively better. So, can they win the championship? I mean, it's possible they could win it.
Look, I think they deserve the nod. Like, I shared this last night, per dunks and threes. I went back and researched this for Locked On NBA last night because I was with Danny Cunningham, who covers the Cleveland Cavaliers. In the last 12 years, there's only been one team to not finish top 3 in effective field goal percentage and win an NBA championship, and that was the 2020 Lakers. And currently this year, the best shooting team and best shot-making team in a regular season context is the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Yeah,
they're number 1. So they historically have history on their side to say that they should be have a very strong chance to win the championship this year. And also, I think their defense has progressed to 11th overall, but I think a lot of that's just because of the last 8 games or so, because they just kind of stopped playing. They could turn up their defensive intensity, especially with Hunter and Dean Wade. I don't know if people think he's a bad defender. Jared Allen, Evan Mobley, they have enough, but they're really going to have to Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell really going to have to make up for some of the issues they will have versus, I think, the Pacers and versus the Celtics. But they have a chance.
What issues do you think they'll have against the Pacers and the Celtics? Well, the Celtics, I think,
just the defense. It's just they have to be able to hold up, at least enough.
I don't think they can. I don't think Donovan Mitchell, particularly Garland, can hold up against Boston defensively. The Pacers, maybe, but against Boston,
the movement for the Pacers, though, I think people are.
I know, the ground coverage and stuff. I definitely I can see that struggle. I just don't think there's a way to make Garland and Mitchell viable defensively against the Celtics. It's a tough matchup for them. They have to I know it goes without saying you have to outscore the other team to win, but they have to outscore Boston. I don't think they can match them defensively, no matter how good I think Mobley is or Jared Allen.
It really is going to come down to Jaylen Brown and Darius Garland, because that's going to be the hunt.
That's what they've been going to, and that's why they've had
for all the things the Celtics do. They will, especially late in the games, and Chill will, complain about this sometimes, which I understand. But they give the ball to Jaylen Brown at that nail, and they're like, whoever the weakest defender is, bully him. And if he's hitting those shots, it's going to be tough. But on the other end, though, they do have advantages. They just have to be. But to be fair, if KP's playing, it probably doesn't matter. I'm not going to lie to you. If KP and Horford are playing, it probably doesn't matter.
Is Boston going to take advantage of that, though? The thing that I'm scared about with Boston is they're going to go to 3-point ball and not take advantage of
when do they not take advantage of mismatches? That's what they do.
But
their mismatch hunting turns into creating threes because you have to send doubles.
Okay.
They don't just be like, oh, let's just start shooting threes. They hunt mismatches and then you send a double and that leads to an open 3.
All right, just basketball.
Well, the thing is, if they get when they do,
that's not true. But that's not true. That's not all. When they play
the Cavs, that's what they do. When they play the Cavs, that's what they do.
So you're saying when they play the Cavs,
we're talking about this series. Yeah, we're talking about
but all right, got you. But that's not all Boston. The Boston comes in shooting, firing threes. Now, when they if taking advantage of mismatches means we swing and not attack the rim and give up open layups for contested threes, then sure. But that's not just that's not all Boston's doing. They're trying to fire up threes, whether they're creating mismatches or not.
Yeah, they're obviously trying to get 3. I'm talking about when the game slows down against the Cavs, when they go to that mismatch hunting, they're not just going to go devolve into 3-point ball, that Ron said, because everything starts with them getting the mismatches. That's how they close games. They go to Jaylen Brown, they go to Jason Tatum with the mismatch, and either you let them play one-on-one or you send a double and that creates threes. That's how they close games. Now, is it a foolproof plan? No. Have they failed with that plan? Yes, but that's what they do against Cleveland. Damn near every time. That's what they do.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Like I said, that's just my only concern with Boston. If they do decide that, hey, we want to pick on you two, then it could get scary for Cleveland. But at the same time, no, and I'm obviously it didn't work against Boston, but it did work to get the Mavs through the finals. Obviously, we know Luka wasn't a great defender. Kyrie, he competes, but he's still not the best defender. The Mavs were able to cover up for them. I'm saying that to say I like the Cavs cover for those two. Obviously, they have Evan Mobley. Obviously, they have Jared Allen, DeAndre Hunter. They have
Tristan Thompson.
They have some other defenders to cover up for their guards, defensive.
Dean Wade.
Yeah. So
I seen Real Talk say Dean Wade's not a positive.
I don't know why. That's what I'm saying. We gonna go through these debates, bro.
Yeah, that was disgusting. I know. He just said, "Let me just name the white guys on the Cavs and say they aren't good defenders." Dean Wade might be the
I can give you the second one, but them first and third, bro. No way. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, bro. Because goodness gracious. Anyway, we'll move on to it. I heard that yesterday, bro, and I'm like, I'm not finna, because people gonna be like, you capping for the white dude again. I said, have you watched Dean Wade?
Yeah,
Dean Wade is huge. He is 6'10".
He's 6'9", ain't he? A legit 6'9"?
He's huge and he moves. And he was giving Jason Tatum issues last year. So stop it.
Yeah, that was
the Wade we've ever seen.
Facts. You see the donkey at the other. Yeah,
we was watching it on playback.
But I will say, if I'm coaching against Boston now, obviously I'm not an NBA head coach, but I'm just not sending help. Like I'm not giving you the opportunity to do this drive and kick stuff. We're going to defend one-on-one, and you guys going to have to make shots over the top, whether that's Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum. If you mismatch Hunt Darius Garland and you're shooting 12-foot jumpers, you're going to have to make them. I'm not sending a double. We're just going to play one-on-one the whole time.
Yep.
And if you score and you win that way, then hats off to you. I'm not putting my defense in rotation. I'm just not doing that. That's how you end up. That's how you lose.
How does that work, though? But here's the problem with that, though, Mars.
Do you think twos for threes? Like, I'm thinking versus Boston. Would you rather give up a pull-up two, like to, let's say, Tatum or Brown?
Yes.
Than get like rotational threes? You know what I mean, Joe? That makes sense?
Oh,
Of course, I'd rather give that up. But to Mars's point, the problem with that logic is the Celtics screen so well. And because they screen so well, now you asking your guys to fight around screens all night long.
Switch. We're switching everything.
And if you switch it everything, now what you're doing is all the Celtics are doing is mismatch hunting. So now
I'm living with that. I'm accepting that you are going to target Darius Garland.
Okay, so I was just about to say that. So now I got Darius Garland switched on to Porzingis. Now I got Darius Garland switched. Now I got Darius Garland switched on to Al Horford in the post. That's what you're gonna live with. Yikes.
Yes.
I'm
not saying this is how you beat Boston. Of course it's not. What I'm saying is I am living with guys going one-on-one, as opposed to sending help and then having to rotate out and giving up open threes, which is what Boston live off. Now, obviously, you don't just show a defense the same look every time. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown will dissect that. They'll figure out.
Sure.
But what I'm saying is I am not committing doubles. I might show help. I might show hands, dig at the nail, all of that stuff, like understanding that. Or you're trying to shade Jaylen Brown left, all of those intricacies that you actually get into when on the scouting report and stuff. But the base principle is we are not putting ourselves in a position to play in rotation. I'm never doing that. I'm not putting two on the ball. I am not being in a position where we are now having to play 4-on-3 on the backside. That will never happen. You guys are going to have to make shots over the top of us, whether that's Kristaps Porzingis, whether that's Al Horford post-ups, whether that's Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, whoever. We are living with you guys playing one-on-one, and we're going to see what happens. That would be my philosophy.
Well, who would you blitz though? Like to your point, we're talking about doubling, right? So okay, who am I blitzing? Who am I double teaming with the ball
Jason Tatum
this far away from the basket? I don't think that. Well, he draws double teams, but he splits double teams too, right? And
I'm not sending any.
That's why he gets downhill. To your point, I'm thinking, who else are we doubling? Jason Tatum is their primary ball handler, their primary playmaker. He's their distributor. He's the guy that gets a lot of these guys open. I'm just thinking about if we're gonna play one-on-one, right? If we're gonna play one-on-one, our help side defense on the weak side, because I can't just let guys just drive to the basket.
Well, that's not what they're not going to though. Like that is the flaw though. They won't drive continuously is the thing. Right. They're going to pull up for those jumpers because they're going to gap. Like that Cleveland is going to show hands and they're going to gap. And they're going to try to bait you into taking jump shots. And the issue with the Celtics, they will take those jump shots because they believe they can get it. Now, Brown will get a little bit deeper than Tatum. Brown will get right to that little 10-foot area and try to shoot through the mid-range fadeaway shot over the top. But like, I think for me, it's like you have to give up something. And I think Darius Garland being put on an island, even if it's going to work out in your favor, I'm going to gamble that's going to work out 4 out of 10 times, as opposed to, because if you get 4 2-pointers, that's 8 points. If you get 4 3-pointers, that's 12.
Sure.
Like, I can't, because then the gap, just like if this is the knit and tuck game, I just can't live with that. But on the other end, this is where Darius Garland cooks, though, because now if I pull up KP or Horford all the way out in the zone, Darius Garland feels really comfortable versus either one of them. And then now if you're blitzing because you don't want to like extend too far out with a big with Darius Garland, now we can do the roll. We can work weak side, pre-rotate up. We're going to like, because remember, I think the best set I saw this year, late game situation, when you double the number 1 ball handler, was the Detroit Pistons this year. What they did was when they would blitz Cade Cunningham, they loaded up weak side with Tobias Harris and Tim Hardaway Jr. They didn't even have a roll. They had the roller go mid, but what they did, they threw it to Tobias Harris, and now it's like, okay, it's a 1v2. Tobias got the ball on the wing. If you went out to him, they threw it into the Tim Hardaway for the corner. They actually won the game this way.
Sure.
And I think Cleveland can do that too. They can just put whoever they want on that weak side, have a bunch of shooters over there. So if you do blitz, we have an advantage over here. But on the other end, if you don't blitz and you get a one-on-one with KP, Darius Garland's already proven he can beat them. Like, with his jump shot off the dribble. You know what I mean?
I do think that they mismatch hunt with Darius Garland and Al Horford. I'm definitely going after that. But to Mars's point, if you're not going to switch, and you are going to switch, and you're going to play one-on-one, I feel like we're going after Darius Garland specifically. And if we do that, and if we do that, I feel like we could wear him down. And I think that that's going to affect his offense.
It may.
I think that can affect his offense, because to your point, Mars, if you guys are going to switch, I'm switching. I'm mismatch hunting Darius Garland. I ain't mismatch hunting him on Derek White. I'm not mismatch hunting him on Drew Holiday. I'm mismatch hunting him on Biggs, so Biggs can pound on him to wear him down. So when we get late in the third quarter, when we get to the fourth quarter, when we get to spots like that, he's not as sharp as he was, as opposed to if he didn't have to worry about.
But wouldn't you say that's a win for Cleveland, though?
Chill and Swiper, I gotta jump in because I gotta give you guys something that you guys should be pounding on. It's these prize picks, y'all. Now, as you can see, you can run your game, control your game, and win your game with PrizePicks. After you download the app, you just use promo code PANEL, and you will get $50 back instantly when you play just $5. It's so easy that my man Big Ox did it earlier. Now, Big Ox, tell us what you rocking with today, and why you rocking with it, and how you rocking with it, and where you rocking with it at.
Okay, Ryan. So today we just went with 3-pointers or rebounds. So we started with Franz Wagner, the demon pick of 2.5 3-pointers made, took the over against the Clippers. I think three balls is reasonable for Franz. He's a great 3-point shooter as well as the most versatile defender in the NBA. Then we got the combo rebounds with Alex Sarr and Bam Adebayo, 15.5. I think those brothers could take care of that. Pascal Siakam and Domantas Sabonis to combine for 20, more than 20 rebounds. I mean, Domantas can get 15 by himself, so that's no issue. And then we took the Goblin pick with DeMar DeRozan. All he has to do is make 1 3-ball against the Indiana Pacers. Sure, you can accomplish that feat as well. So this is a guaranteed hit right here. Y'all go ahead and copy it, and then I'll send you my Cash App so you can send me my percentage.
There you go. We got Demons and Goblins at PrizePicks. Make sure you use promo code PANEL. And like I said, pound on these good contests that you have an opportunity to get. Get that money, y'all. Get that money.
I'm
confused
why this is a pause. When a big fella got a small dude on him, he's bumping him, he's pounding on him, he's roughing him up. Like, why is this a pause? I got some insecure ass dudes that I'm running around with. Relax.
It's crazy.
Damn.
Yeah.
And Ox, I had to take a page out of your books, Ox, because I had to send an invoice. I just got to put that out there, Ox. I did. I had to send an invoice not too long ago. So I was thinking about my man.
Hell yeah. Love sending the invoices, man.
All right, y'all. First off, shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to everybody that's in the building right now. If you are watching live, salute to you. I got 3 things that you guys need to do if you're watching live. First, turn on your notification bell. Secondly, subscribe and like the video. And last but not least, become a member. Speaking of which, shout out to our Hall of Famers. They go by the name of Multi Kenny. They go by the name of Minor, Tyrus Williams, SSGSS Popo, Cheese in Vale. Salute to the GOATs in the chat. And as of right now, fellas, it is Monday. We still have some things to talk about. But before we do that, drum roll to the top 5 comments of the week. Let's go ahead and get into it. You guys have done your job this week. You've left amazing comments, so we have to acknowledge who's really commenting and who's coming with it. So the first comment of the week I got is courtesy of ZZ-LP8YR. These names are getting more and more creative. ZZ said, "What is the link for Swiper's poncho?"
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, the Dragon Ball Z poncho that I wore twice last week. I took a picture and I put it. I did DM a couple people about it, so just hit me up on Twitter if you want it. I will post a full fit. I just didn't want to just take a random picture and then not do it justice to how cold it looks. But I will share it on social media so people can know where to buy it.
There you go. Hit up Swiper for that poncho.
Hit up Chill for the Pound Town. Go ahead.
Next up, we have, I'm not even about to try. XO Lil Eno. Yeah. XO got it. Shout out to XO for comment of the week. XO said, Ron and Ox are the definition of old heads casuals.
What?
Episode
so old head
523. Let me see what episode 523 was to see if you guys was yapping. Oh, that was Friday. Did you guys yap on Friday?
Yeah, did we yap on Friday?
Was I even here
that
on
was
Friday?
old head casual?
You guys probably yapped, but I don't know.
Let me run a poll
what was the
right
topic
now.
on Friday again?
Oh, bro,
Don't
we
you
were
remember the
that was
topics
that
last
was that the pin day?
Hey,
The pin
Was it
LeBron
Friday?
day?
Bear with me.
Anytime Ron say something crazy, I automatically get dragged into it.
That's your man, Ox. That's why. That's your man.
You know what? Maybe that was about the Tracy McGrady Yap Fest that Mars and Gifted went on.
That was earlier in the week, but hold on. You talk about when I say stuff crazy, you act like you don't be jumping off the top floor.
I be meaning it though. I be meaning it. You say stuff for content.
Like what?
Which is worse.
I'm really Ron, I'm really an old head casual. I don't know ball. I'm just talking. you are here for the content. That's the difference.
All right. I don't like what's going on here, so we just gonna move on to the next comment. Mars, did you figure out what was being said that episode?
Well, I don't know who's responsible for this. But a couple thumbnails both say episode 523. And so I don't know which one is actually 523. So, Mr. Thumbnail person, can you lock in and do better? Because 523 is either.
Thank you, Mars. I'll be sending this up to HR.
It's the episode where Damian Lillard was ruled out, or it's the episode where we spoke about the Josh Giddey game winner. Because they both say 523, and then 524 was the first episode of us talking about Stephen A. And today's thumbnail also says 524. So,
wow,
Mr. Thumbnail person, very unprofessional.
So was episode 500 actually episode 500?
I don't know.
We might be on like episode 600 for real, yo.
We might really be on episode 714. I don't know. So I can't do my research.
Hey, look, to be fair, as somebody who does all their own graphics, I have made that mistake before. Like making graphics can be a lot. So
yeah, y'all at this rate, we ain't never gonna get to the James Harden story with episode 1000.
You gotta start over, Ron. You gotta bring us back. What's up, PC fan? Welcome to episode 1000 of the panel.
Stop episode 1 and kick me off again. Yeah, that's what we need to do.
Well, regardless of what episode it is, shout out to the old head casuals and everybody in between.
Shout out to us.
All right, the third comment of the week. I don't know if it was from episode 525.
But today is meant to be 524. All right. Okay.
Yo.
We're looking back into the future.
I tried to tell y'all. I tried to give y'all a glimpse into the future by looking back into the future, but y'all didn't want to believe me. But here we are. I guess this is from tomorrow's episode. Somebody said, I love when Ron throws out those quick remarks and no one picks up on them. They be funny as fuck. Dude said Gitler.
I remember that.
Or shooting Blizzy.
If you want to be on comments of the week, someone needs to leave this exact comment on tomorrow's show, and I can guarantee you'll be on top 5 comments of the week. Just
don't do that. First off, that was one of those things I wasn't supposed to say, and I was hoping nobody picked up on that. But hey, here we are.
Shooting glizzies.
Moving along, the next comment of the week is from Jared Phi 3909. Jared said, wow, I've never seen honest, educated analysis of my Pacers, mainly because people don't watch us, so they don't know what they are talking about. Good job, guys. Regular people are better than people on TV.
Wait a minute. What is this revisionist history? I don't appreciate. I truly don't. I have been talking about the Pacers all year. What is this?
He said honest, educated analysis, Swiper.
Yeah, you were just talking. That's the difference. You weren't talking honestly and educatedly. That's
what I've learned in this country. If you stand on truth before everybody else wakes
What have you been saying about the Pacers, Swiper?
I have been big up in them all year. I told you I like how they built.
All I hear you big up is the Denver Nuggets.
When they were a top, no, that's a lie. That's how I know that's a lie. That's how I know that's a lie.
You big up the Denver Nuggets heavy.
Where I told people in February they were a top 10 offense and defense.
It was Swap, you right though. Swap, you definitely been on the Pacers, bro.
It was me. Now, Crash Town over here was hating because they're not the Celtics. That's where that came from. Yeah, hating. Every time I bring up a small market, here comes big time economy chill. Well, they're actually not that good. And they beat the Celtics? No, I don't think so. The Celtics floor is making the NBA Finals. So what does that make the Pacers? At best, a second round exit. That's all he talks about. All you do is, and I know Tatum's in your pocket. Tatum pays you for the propaganda you spew. Here's the thing. I have been talking about the Pacers for at least 6 months. This is so. Do I not have enough ore? Is that what I'm hearing? I don't have enough or PC or
damn Jason Tatum.
I'm not a Gen Zer. Is that what it is? Is that why? This is crazy, bro. I'm not
funny how your Tatum Turks is funny how all your Tatum hate is coming around to slap you in the back of your head. Damn, you the Tatum of PC.
Yeah, I seen Swapper hating on Tatum again on Twitter.
When? What I say? Go ahead, Mars. Bring it
up. Mars, don't say it. Just share it on the screen. Mars, just pull it up and share it on the screen.
We're not gonna expose Swapper, but he was hating on Jason.
What did I say? What did I say? Go ahead. Oh no, I know. No, time out. Mars wants to, when he wants to be a casual, he knows how to do it. Ron, tell me if I'm tripping. Tell me if this is a lie.
Come on, I'll talk to you, Sniper.
And especially Ox.
We might have to leave Chill out of this, but I got you.
You're right. Ox and Ron, y'all are old enough to remember. Mars didn't watch any of this. He was too young. Nice. Has Tatum even touched Dwayne Wade?
That was crazy. Swipe, I'm not going to get involved in that, but that's ridiculous.
But that's what I'm talking about. That's what Mars is referencing. So how is that hate? That doesn't make any sense.
Here's what Swiper does, right? He goes onto Twitter and he searches 2 things: Jokic, just to see who's hating on Jokic, so he can go defend him, and Tatum to see who's praising Tatum, so he can go and tell them why they're
wrong.
Wait, you can do that, Mars? You can do that? Like search Tatum?
Yeah. That's what he does. He'll go on Twitter, he'll just search up Tatum's name. Who's praising Tatum on the timeline today? Oh, how dare you say this? And then he'll quote tweet it. And then he'll act like he's not hating because all he's doing is saying.
No, this is the issue. I know Mars because he just wanted to get big on Twitter and so he'll eventually get there because again, Gen Zers love him. He can literally lie and they'll still like what he says, by the way. So this is my issue is Tatum is a popular player. So he's going to get a lot of love on NBA Twitter. So when somebody says something egregious like that, what you want me to just ignore it?
Right? So
hold on. Yes, easy, no problem. Yeah. Bro, I don't understand why that's wrong though. Go ahead, Ron.
Who said that and what did they say?
So it was going around like it was a few people that were having a discussion. The first one was a Tatum Glazer. It started off a few weeks ago after the anomaly.
That was their name at Tatum Glazer.
Probably. That's Chill's other name. So what happened is that somebody first, Ron, said Tatum is already a top. He's guaranteed to finish as the top 3 wing ever. Which I was just like, okay, well, there's a lot of really good wings all the time.
I wouldn't even agree with that. Like, let's chill out. Hold on.
But then what happened was it moved into like some other stuff, and then eventually it got to Kawhi Leonard, and I'm like, do people not remember like Apex Kawhi Leonard? And then this last one, the most recent one, had to do with somebody said that this version of Tatum is clear of Dwayne Wade, but because he has more first-team All-NBAs than Dwayne Wade. And I'm just like, that's such a lack of context behind the NBA in the late 2000s and how many shooting guards and guards were in the NBA. He wasn't going to clear Kobe. Respectfully, even Steve Nash in a few of those years. Like, there were some really, really good players. But now because Tatum is going to end his career probably with at least 2 chips, with probably, 7 to 9 first-team All-NBAs, probably 0 MVPs, because that's what the apex thing is a whole different conversation. Jokic, Embiid, Giannis, SGA, Wemby, I think eventually those are probably the apex players of the era. And Luka, probably the apex players of the era. Tatum is still really good, but like we're going to be able to remember there's like a 10-year gap, and he's going to be the Drew Brees of his era. Drew Brees had all the numbers.
Which was some bullshit right there.
What's wrong with Drew Brees?
About Drew Brees. That's some bullshit.
What about it?
I mean, the fact that, like what you just mentioned, I mean, he threw for 5,000 yards 5 times.
But he was never. I don't want to get lost. I'm saying Drew Brees was always.
I know where you're going with it. He was never better. He was never better than Peyton Manning.
But he was never.
He was never Peyton Manning. He was never Tom Brady. He was never Aaron Rodgers at his apex.
Swiper, don't you think Drew Brees is a bit much?
No, I don't. Drew Brees is the first ballot Hall of Famer.
I do.
Yeah, no. Ron is saying that that's too high praise for Jason Tatum.
But he has 0 first-team All-Pros and no MVPs. Tatum at least had first-team All-NBAs.
Yeah,
I think he was first-team All-Pro in
well, no, remember, because I don't know if he ever actually made it over Brayton. Maybe he did during the one of the running back MVP years or something like that. But
and he was AP first-team All-Pro.
But you understand what I'm saying. I think Tatum is going to be a top 30 player of all time when it's all said and done.
Who do you have at 30 right now?
Huh?
Who do you
30 players.
Right
so
now?
Kawhi, Harden. Well, I'm saying 20 to 30. It's like Barkley, Malone, Dirk, Kawhi, Harden, and like CP3. It's like that tier.
Yeah, where do you have D-Wade? I'm not very confident Jason Tatum.
Well, D-Wade's like 22 or something like that. So like
I'm not very confident Jason Tatum will be better than any of them, but maybe we'll see.
Well, the thing is, he's going to have all of the longevity stuff. It's going to be hard to like.
He will.
I mean, Chris Paul got some longevity to him as well.
Yeah, but no rings. How many first team All-NBAs does Chris Paul have? Like 3?
I was going to say like 4 or 5, but I don't know. The early 2010s, he was making it damn near every year, right? Besides like 2011.
So that's what I'm saying, Chill. Like, at some point, it's just like,
I do understand. I do understand. It's made
2006. So 2006. Who won the MVP in the NFL in 2006? By the way, go ahead, Mars.
He's made 4 first-team All-NBAs.
Peyton Manning. I think Peyton Manning won the league MVP in 2006.
How did Drew Brees get first-team All-Pro in 2006 then that year? Manning split it. Did we split it with McNair?
The same way Marc Gasol won DPOY, but wasn't first team all defense.
Or the same way that Bill Russell.
That was the year they won.
Yeah, the same way that Bill Russell was winning MVPs and making all NBA second team.
Yeah, and he was second team behind Chamberlain. So
I'm pretty sure they won in 6, right?
Yeah, that was 6. They went. Yeah, I think the Colts won in 6. LaDainian Thompson won MVP that year. So that's the reality right. 38 touchdowns that year.
They beat Chicago.
Yeah, Rex Grossman in the weather game and all that.
Yeah, they beat Chicago. It was in Miami.
So that's what I'm saying, Ron. Mars wants to dress it up as hate because he don't want me. He can't just be. Even Mars was hating on me last night. That's a whole different conversation. Mars likes to try to pick on me for no reason. Now we cool though, and Mars does it for fun. But previously, Mars used to do it for pure hate. Now it's funny. I get it. It's jokes. Like I even added Mars. We were having a moment about the SGA stuff, and then I added you.
He was hating on SGA on Twitter.
Now I'm hating.
He was hating on SGA. He started putting together some clips of SGA.
That was CT. CT posted that about Denver's offense versus the Thunder. I said, "Oh, there's a common denominator here, Chill. Why did SGA sleep on all these possessions?"
He was hate watching SGA defense. And then we saw it was subliminally like, this your MVP. That's what it really was, but he ain't say it. But
now, Ron, you see how this works. I want you to know this is how PCL works too. All you got to do is put a narrative out there. That's not true, and it sticks, and you win debates. This is what Mars is doing right here. There's nothing true about what he's saying. Go ahead. Next top 5 comment of the week. Take this.
I guess.
All right, our last comment of the week. It's a pretty long one, y'all. It's from Justin Mendoza, X4S.
Oh, he cooking. I can already see this.
Justin said there is no dynasty. I repeat, no dynasty without KD. Y'all some top tier Draymond Glazers. Draymond himself said they are not beating Cleveland in 2017 without KD, and I wouldn't even have them making it out the West that year with the second seeded Spurs team in the league. I'm sorry, bro, but anyone trying to convince me that a two-time Finals MVP and the clear best player on those two championship teams is not the second most important player in that dynasty is absolutely tripping. Who's tripping?
I concur. He's very clearly the second most important player of the dynasty, in my opinion. I don't hesitate. Steph, KD, Draymond, Clay, and then go with whatever you want after that. I don't care. But KD is very clearly the second most important player in that dynasty. Yeah, fine. Go with Iguodala. I'm not arguing against it. I'm just saying those four are the top four in that order.
Sure.
There's no dynasty without the 2 rings in 17 and 18.
Yeah, give me Iguodala.
Why are you saying Iguodala, Ron? Like, what's your motivation with Iguodala? I mean,
there's only 3 Finals MVP winners in that dynasty, and he's one of them.
Okay, I can get with that. And there's plenty of us who think that, and I'm probably in the minority. Steph Curry should have won the Finals MVP in 2015. He should have won.
I think most people agree on that.
I think most people think LeBron should have won it that year, by the way.
No, you can't win it as a loser. No,
why?
Sorry.
Why?
Because you lost. That's why. You're not the most important player.
You didn't lose because of LeBron.
You didn't win because of him neither. That's the point.
You were in it because of LeBron.
Oh, but you didn't win. And
Matthew Dellavedova and Timothy Mozgov.
And back to Ron.
To be fair, Timothy Mozgov had a really good game.
Well, no, one game. Yeah.
Was the game 4 he played?
Then he got $72 million after that. By the way.
Yeah, he gave him money. Yeah, gave him money.
But Ron, when you talk about Iguodala, I mean, how much more important was he than Draymond?
I'm not necessarily comparing Iguodala to Draymond, but here's also what I do want to say about Andre Iguodala. This dynasty shit started with Iguodala. Like, we can leave Steph out of this.
Him joining the team.
Steph is who he is.
Yep.
Steph is who he is.
Sure.
In that finals, Iguodala was the second best player, or the best player, however you want to slice it.
The second best player.
The second best player. Yep. So he was the second most important piece in the first finals.
He may have been third, but that's neither here nor there. But we'll say second.
Yes. So Andre Iguodala, he gets the first finals MVP. He puts on for San Francisco, Oakland. He puts on for the Bay Area.
Right.
The second iteration of that team when KD joins. Now, you can argue that, I guess, they can win without a collection of guys. You can argue that they can win without Clay. You can even argue that they can win without Iguodala. You can argue that they could even win without Draymond too.
I don't think they win in there without.
No, so Draymond was,
for me. Steph, KD, and Draymond are like pillars. You need those 3.
All 3 of
them.
Clay
is to me clearly the 4th most important.
Yeah.
And then Iguodala would probably be 5th. Probably.
The question that needs to be answered, Ron, is how replaceable is Steph Curry in your estimation?
He's not replaceable.
Okay, how replaceable is KD in your estimation?
KD. So here's the thing. KD,
wait a minute, Ron.
I'm
listening to you.
Quick answer too. Quick answer.
KD's
not necessarily replaceable because nobody can duplicate the production.
Kawhi could have did it.
Kind of how Mars said. We've seen Andrew Wiggins. We've seen Harrison Barnes, and Andre Iguodala could have stepped in on that team and did this, not did the same thing, but they would have. You guys know what I mean. Not did the same thing, but I believe they could have ran that back and won again.
There were other wings they could have put in that spot and still won.
Other wings besides KD.
Yes.
So you think KD is replaceable? Okay.
No,
so how
they're replaceable with another elite.
Replaceable is just a bad word.
I think it's possible that they could have won without Kevin Durant and you replace him with an all-star wing. There is no way that they are arguably the best team ever with a wing who's not Kevin Durant, in my opinion.
Whoa. That's not true. If you would have replaced them with Paul George at that point,
they aren't the best team ever.
They're a top 5 team ever. If you would have replaced them with Kawhi Leonard, they're the best team ever.
Who's the top 5 teams ever?
Kawhi, Jimmy, Paul George.
Kawhi would have been there. You agree with that?
Kawhi stayed getting hurt, so I didn't factor him in because he got hurt in 17 and 18. So that's why
2017 he had his career year.
Yeah, and then got hurt in the postseason. So
that wasn't his fault
because that wasn't.
I agree with you. It wasn't KD's fault. He scored the I agree. I'm just letting you know. I didn't factor Kawhi in. because he got hurt in both.
I don't think you can count that. He literally stepped under him purposely.
If we take KD off that roster and we put Carmelo Anthony in that space, are they still rolling?
Wait, like
2018,
17,
no.
16, 17. Instead of KD getting on that roster, that's
2014 Melo, Mars.
Nah, he's saying 2017 Melo. He's saying
Melo was still cold in 16. Melo was still cold in 16.
2016, 2017. In July of 2016, instead of Kevin Durant moving over to the Golden State Warriors, Carmelo Anthony moves over there.
Melo was still cold in 16.
They won a championship with Melo. Yeah.
He was still a good player.
So we're replacing Carmelo, and so we're replacing KD with an all-league wing. Okay, Ron, who are we replacing Draymond Green with?
Paul
Millsap.
Yeah.
No way.
DeJuan Blair.
No, we're not doing that. The reason why I'm bringing that up to you, Ron, the reason why I'm bringing that up to you is because when you think about the importance of these guys, I think about if we lose them, how much of a problem is it going to be for us if we lose them? And when I think about those three guys in particular, and then I think about Andre Iguodala, who could I have replaced Andre Iguodala with?
Nobody.
No,
nobody.
That's not true. No,
Nobody was providing. I'm not
Tony
saying
Allen.
the work better.
Tony
I'm not
Allen,
saying the
too.
work.
Give
Tony
him Tony
Allen's
Allen.
not
They
doing
would've won
what Andre
They would have won.
Look, I'm not
Allen.
saying. Okay,
Shane Battier.
Shane Battier.
We just went. We
Bruce
just went
Bowen.
with a bunch of people. We just found a replacement for KD. Obviously, like you can find a
got that
replacement.
coming out.
What was Trevor Ariza doing in 2017? Give him two.
Look, what I'm saying is you can replace him with certain people.
Luke Mbamute.
It's very few people that
Mo
are provide the
Harkless.
value that Andre Iguodala provided for that team.
Al Farouk.
Defensively,
Got to get
Farouk ain't.
Mo Harkless would have been nice
You
on
guys
that
are
team,
being-
dog.
No, he wouldn't have. No, he
Yes, he
wouldn't.
was.
No, he wouldn't have.
Portland had both
Rodney
of
Hood
them.
before the Achilles.
I
got
love
to
me
trade
some
Wesley
Rodney Hood,
Wesley Matthews.
I
Tell me
love
the
me some
truth.
Rodney Hood.
Pre-Achilles
Nicholas
Wesley
Batum.
Matthews.
Nicholas
No,
Batum.
but y'all know who I'm thinking of. I don't know why I can't remember my
Who
man.
Yeah, I was gonna say Batum.
Who
was
odds?
Y'all know my dude. Y'all know. I don't know. I'm tripping right now. I'm just really tired. My man.
Oh,
gonna
Robert
say
Covington for sure. Robert
You gonna
Covington.
say
No,
Scola?
No, not Scola. Shit.
Nah.
The one. No, the one. My man from for the Sixers, played for the Pacers.
Thad Young.
Dad Young.
Oh,
thank
Daddy
you,
is,
Mark.
yeah.
Thank you, Daddy is. Dad Young. Y'all know y'all can replace. Y'all know Dad can fill them shoes.
I'm gonna be honest. I genuinely think Nicholas Batum is a good answer. I think
Nicholas Batum's a great answer. I think that's the
Well,
best answer.
how about
Or
we don't
Trevor Ariza.
how about we don't replace Iggy and we just roll without him? Can we roll without him?
Well, they beat the Rockets in 18 with
And then push
That's what I'm thinking. And I'm on record. This is a 65-win Rocket team. And I said to you, Mars, if Iguodala doesn't get hurt, they would have made quick work with him. That series does not go 7. If Iguodala was healthy, they would have smoked them dudes in 5 games. They would have got rid of them dudes in 5 games.
Oh, you could have put Sean Livingston at the 4 for all that, and we could have kept it rock. Respect.
This team was so good though. Like they could have rolled with it without anybody. I'm not saying they could have.
They needed Wardell. They needed.
Yeah, I mean, if CP3 was there, they still would have won though.
To be fair, Steph missed
KD
the
healthy?
series in was
That's
it
what I'm
17?
saying.
He missed
Yeah,
the
the
series, I
18,
think?
the
18 he missed.
Yeah.
Whatever year he missed the series,
The Blazers, the wet spot injury.
So I'm saying like this team was an all-time team. Like you could take Clay off for a series, they can win a series. You could take Draymond off for a series, they can win a series. Like this team was just that good.
Didn't they beat Houston without Steph? Like, didn't he miss like 2 or 3 games?
Yeah, in 2016. Yeah.
And that was a good Houston team. They was in the West Finals the year before.
Yeah, good as a stretch, but yeah, they beat Houston. Steph missed the series against. He missed the whole series against the Spurs? I think might have been 18. They won that series. KD obviously missed that Portland series the whole time.
Steph's had some really favorable playoff runs. I'm not gonna lie to you. 22 was a super favorable playoff run. That injuries, he had an elite team around him. He was able to get through that. Any other circumstances, those years could have been vastly different. Vastly different. Like the West playoffs, as good as they were at the top, those early round West playoffs were horrible.
The Warriors, in my opinion, and this is not I don't do this asterisk thing for championships. Besides the bubble, that one doesn't count. 21 and 22, to me, are like if you're not a all-time dominant team, those 2 years were the years where you had a chance. And because of all the injuries around the league, and I think the Bucks and the Warriors capitalized on that, and they get full credit for that. It's just that's why I think they're probably the worst championship teams of like the last 5 years. Well, I just think
The 21 Bucks or the 22 Warriors? The Bucks. I feel like the Bucks are better.
I think the 21 Bucks are clearly better than the 22 Warriors.
Yeah.
But if I rank 2020 to 24, it would be the Warriors last, then the Bucks.
The 24?
Yeah, then the Nuggets, Lakers, and Celtics. Nuggets, Lakers, Celtics, probably. That's what I would do. But like, I think 21 and 22 was where if you were a contender, all you had to do was stay healthy, and you had a really good shot of winning. And the Bucks and the Warriors managed to do that for the most part, whereas most other teams weren't able to do that.
Hey, I think that 22 Warriors team will pack that Bucks team up. Just want to throw it out there real quick.
Maybe because they were so good defensively, like they were so good defensively, but that Bucks team was also really, really good defensively. Really good defensively.
This is the Brook Lopez that Ron still remembers to this day.
The good old Brooklyn. And like 22 Steph, for Steph standards, just wasn't that great. Like,
well, the regular season.
If you let other people say it, let other people tell you, Mars,
even in the postseason, he wasn't that great.
Well, he gets credit.
Was amazing.
But the Memphis series, he wasn't great.
And the
Dallas series, he wasn't great.
Now against that Jokic defense,
Well, no. Well, hold on, because this is what I'm saying. Now Mars knows when he wants to be nasty. That's when he wants to be nasty. That's when he wants to be nasty. Yeah, context. He always want to do this for his people. For Jalen Green, well, for context, he's actually been very good since December. It didn't just start in March. But if you look at his number from December, 24 points per game on 60. Shut up.
You did that for Jamal Murray a week ago.
They had Austin Reeves. Austin Rivers.
Literally just did that for Jamal Murray a week ago.
They had Bryn Forbes.
Literally.
Austin Reeves, Bryn Forbes, Facu Campazzo, Will Barton, Monte Morris, and Shaq Harrison. What are you talking about? They weren't on the team the next year.
Jokic without screen navigators. Just right.
Yeah, here we go.
Right.
All jokes and hee ha ha. Yeah, that first round.
You always big up Monte Morris though. So
I don't. He wasn't a good defender. He was a good role playing backup guard, but he wasn't on the team when they won for a reason. He was a good player though. He just can't defend anybody. He couldn't defend Ron.
But yeah,
in the NBA.
Steph was great. Steph was great against the Nuggets. Yeah. But respectfully, like there was a reason he was able to come off the bench for most of the series. Like it wasn't really a challenging series. Then against Dallas and Memphis, he wasn't great. And then he destroyed the finals. But 22 Steph, in my opinion, is like the worst year of his prime. Like it's very clearly the worst year of his prime.
That's not your opinion, Mars. That's a fact.
So, well, yeah, some people disagree, and it's like I think the only reason they disagree is because they ended up winning. Because they won. People disagree because they won.
That's why. But if you think about what he did that year, he shot his lowest field goal percentage from the floor that year. He shot his lowest percentage at the long ball line that year. On top of that, he missed a month before the playoffs started. He missed a month before the playoffs started, and he backed into the playoffs. So it wasn't like he was rolling coming into the playoffs. He was not after he broke the record for threes. That's when it went the other way. He was not great that season, but if you let other people tell it, Steph Curry was an all-time great that year. No, he wasn't. He was not.
I think that says a lot about
started to play drop coverage on him in the NBA Finals and made him look like
this is. And again,
I know he took advantage, and he took advantage like a great player would.
Well, 2000,
he's an all-time great.
2022 is the year for me that Ox has an 0-2. I feel the same because the Kings could have won the championship that year.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying that like the Nuggets, if
the best team in the NBA.
But I'm saying if the Nuggets had Murray and Porter that year, I think they would have won. They would have won.
Oh, okay, I get what you're saying.
But yeah, I hear you.
I think if the Bucks have Middleton, they're probably
they win the championship.
So like the Warriors dynasty was able to get a fourth ring, in my opinion, because of a lot of fortune, and you need fortune to win.
And injuries, yes.
But like. Yeah, it wasn't the greatest Steph year. Draymond was good that year, but then he got hurt, missed a lot of time that season. And then they all just got healthy at the right time, and it all came together perfectly for this last hurrah. Ooh.
And then Tatum literally had one of the Tatum, just for people's context, he was playing phenomenal basketball through the Eastern Conference Finals. Phenomenal basketball. He legitimately beat Jimmy Butler, even though Jimmy got hurt. He was excellent. And then all of a sudden, when the finals came around, he sucked.
Well, so like that's a lot of game planning from the Warriors. Steve.
No, it was, but I'm saying, but that was also the difference. Like Tatum was older,
really good too. In that,
yeah, he did. Jordan Poole had some good runs.
Jordan Poole made that half court shot in one of those games.
Oh, that's right, he did. Swipe it real quick though, bro. I just want you to just reel it in a little bit. Don't ever try to bunch that team with us. Y'all was not like that. Y'all was not on that level. We were. You know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't.
We were the best team in the NBA, clearly. Y'all were not.
Yeah, I'm saying
Okay?
if Jamal Murray and Porter were that year, they would have been the best team in the West that year.
I mean, maybe could have, should have, would have, but yeah, y'all wasn't on that level of basketball at all.
All right, y'all. We are going to keep it
Chris Webber clears
moving forward. And
yeah,
see, this is what Ron talking about. This is what Ron talking about right here. That's
not crazy. That's not crazy.
Yes, it is.
You
does not clear. He does not clear Joker. Number one,
okay, he doesn't clear, but he's a better basketball player. He doesn't clear, but he's a better basketball player.
No, he isn't.
Wait. Chris Webber's better than Jokic?
Chris Webber is a better basketball player than Nikola Jokic.
No,
he doesn't clear him, but he's better. Okay, we can move on. I just got to keep it real with y'all, but we can move on. I'm just tired. I'm tired of y'all living in oblivion in these times. Chris Webber was a dog.
Oh, you could be a dog and not be
better. He wasn't better than you. Put some respect on Chris Webber.
You could be a dog and not be better.
I got to back Ox. I got to defend Ox. I got to defend Ox. I got to defend Ox. If we're talking about college players,
no, we're not. We're not doing that.
No, clears Jokic.
No, we're talking about Chris Webber.
Oh my God.
My thing is, I'm not blinded by all this new shit. I'm not impressed. Okay, I don't see. Oh my God, nobody's ever done this shit before. No. Chris Webber is a better basketball player. You put Chris Webber on that Denver Nuggets, and they would have won 3 championships by now.
Why didn't they win one with Chris Webber?
Because they got cheated. Did they get?
No, we're not doing that. Did they get cheated in 2001 when the Lakers mopped the floor with them in 4 games?
I'm trying to tell you right now.
They get cheated in 2000 when Chris Webber was on the crew and they pushed the game, pushed the 5.
Go ahead. I'm gonna cook your grades out here. Look. You talking about why they didn't win? Or how you talk about that? I'll tell you why. Because Jokic don't got to deal with the Spurs and Tim Duncan. Jokic don't got to deal with the Lakers and Shaquille O'Neal. Yo, cousin, you know this. Chill, you were there. That's what I'm saying. Chill. You capping for young dudes, chilling is sickening.
Dude capping for young cats.
Yeah, you know for a fact that this NBA is not that NBA. If Jokic was dealing with what Chris Webber was dealing with, I'm talking about Dirk, KG, your cousin Shaq, Tim Duncan, all these dudes. Jokic, we wouldn't be talking. Yeah, obviously Kobe. I'm just talking about the bigs. Rashid, all these dudes. We wouldn't even be talking about Jokic like this. If he was playing in 2000 from 1999 up to 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003, 2004, 5, 6, 7, we wouldn't even be talking about Jokic like this. Y'all need to cut this shit out.
I'm not gonna lie to you, Ox. I was
wouldn't even be no Nikola Jokic.
Basketball.
Wouldn't even. I know some teams Jokic couldn't even make.
Shout out.
Okay. So
Pelican Bay.
Let's
Pelican Bay 5-on-5 hoops.
Let's rewind. Let's rewind. So this Joker, this version of Joker that we seeing right now
in the 2000s show.
Hold on.
His ass up and sat on the bench.
Hold on. So this version of Joker that we see right now over the last 3 or 4 years. Number one, he starts on that Kings team in front of D-Bok. Get D-Bok off the floor. Joker starting on that.
He can't guard nobody.
How he starting? To say that he not, I'm out.
How he starting?
I am
gone. He can't guard nobody.
There's no way that D-Bok is starting over.
D-Bok passed just as good as Jokic. He passed just as good as Jokic, if not better. He played much better defense than Jokic. Jokic to have his big fat ass sitting on the bench watching D-Bok. That's what happened.
That's just not true. He's a
Rick out
He's a better scorer than D-Bok. You ain't playing for. But okay, so no problem. So he's a better scorer than D-Bok. He's a better passer than D-Bok. He's a better long ball shooter than D-Bok. He's a better playmaker than D-Bok. He's a better playmaker.
I'm shooting threes. I'm talking about real basketball. I'm not talking about.
So let's talk about real basketball because if I'm not mistaken, the Detroit Pistons won the NBA championship in back-to-back seasons with a stretch 5 and Bill Laimbeer, and they made it look bad. So that was going on. Yeah.
But Bill Laimbeer played defense.
Right. So and Joker rebounds.
Jokic, that's not defense. Jokic ain't guarding nobody.
Ox, to the point. Jokic is second in steals right now, Ox.
I don't care. Jokic ain't guarding nobody. Nobody.
Right. And D-Bok had to deal with Webber. But I'm sorry, D-Bok had to deal with Shaq. But Shaq had to deal with him. And just like Shaq would have to deal with Joker, just like not Alonzo Mourning, I'm sorry, just like any of those guys on the Trailblazers, any of those guys on the Phoenix Suns, any of those guys like Rick Smits, they would have had to deal with Joker too. And I'm saying this to your face, Ox. Joker would have bust Alonzo Mourning ass. He would have bust Patrick Ewing's ass. All of them dudes. He would have bust.
Patrick Ewing.
He would have. All of these dudes that you talking about in the 2000s. He would have bust Rasheed Wallace ass. He would have bust Dirk's ass. Yes, he would. He would have bust Rasheed Wallace ass. He would have bust Dirk's ass. Yes, he would have. He would have bust Amari Stoudemire ass.
Put Jokic on that team instead of Shaq.
He would have bust Amari Stoudemire ass. He would have bust.
I mean, he'll together Mario a little something. He'll together Mario something for sure.
All of them dudes,
but not Rasheed,
bust Chris
not
Webber
Rasheed,
all of them
not
dudes.
Pat,
none of them
not
dudes,
David Robinson.
None of those dudes bring to the game what Joker is bringing to the game. That level of offense, as good as Chris Webber was. Let's make sure we clear about who Chris Webber was. He wasn't with the drama. Joker is with the drama. Chris Webber wasn't. And the reason why I'm always saying that, because it's a fact. Chris Webber was not
a fact. No drama.
He has proven
that boy ain't with no drama like Mary.
You can't keep spreading these lying narratives.
I'm not spreading it. You thought it was an anomaly when he was at Michigan and he called the timeout. That wasn't it.
Somebody told him to call
that wasn't an anomaly. That's who he is. When we get to the bigger stages and the bets get higher, he is not with the drama. He proved that over and over again.
David Robinson, Patrick Ewing, Rasheed Wallace, these dudes would have had Jokic looking like Martin Gortat, okay? Getting nothingness. I'm tired of this. I'm just tired of this shit. Moore's on the internet lying, talking about this Thunders team will beat that Thunders team.
Oh, you see that?
A whole bunch of shit just going on. I'm just tired of this shit. I'm not impressed, okay? I'm not impressed. I seen things. I was there. I was there.
I was there too.
And that's what I'm saying, Chill. What was you doing?
This guy Joker is fantastic.
You should have been there watching basketball, I was.
I was in the building for game 1 when the Lakers came into your building and beat you.
There's a lot of distractions at Arco Arena, though. You know what I'm saying? So
I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. I was in the building in game 5. I was in the building when they swept y'all out the playoffs. I was in the building, and one of the main reasons why they swept y'all because Webber wasn't with the drama.
They would have swept the Nuggets too, though. Chill. Don't act like that was a Chris Webber thing, and like Jokic would have done something different against the Lakers. That's all I'm saying. Like, let's not act like Jokic would have been on the team instead of Divac or Chris Webber, and we would have been able to beat that team. That's just what happened.
Well, first of all, Joker brings a completely different level of offense if he's on that team against that Laker team. Y'all was in a dogfight with them. So if you add Joker's passing, you add Joker's bucket getting, you add Joker's playmaking ability, you add Joker's ability to clean glass the way he does. Because you lost.
You adding sugar to candy. We don't need no more sugar here. You know what I'm saying? Well, I need you to bring something else. Jokic ain't bringing nothing else.
What else? Well, he shoots the long ball better than
He got to be able to stop somebody.
Well, nobody was stopping.
Who he gonna stop?
First and foremost, let's get what David what Olajuwon did to David Robinson is an anomaly. More times than not, your star is gonna have to cancel out this other star because you're not gonna be able to stop people. That's gonna have to happen. If Chris Webber, who I can't say so many times, I've said this. It was the most meaningless 20-10 that I've ever seen from him. Because when we get late in games, I got nothing from him. Zero. Particularly, and you've heard me say this to you a bunch of times, Ox, about in Game 7 of the NBA Finals, which D-Bach told us if we get Game 7 on our home floor, we're winning. Chris Webber goes 53 minutes. He scores 5 points in the second half, including the overtime, where he played 53 minutes. He gave us nothing. He wasn't with the drama. When the bets got higher, he cheesed up. That's who he is.
He ain't cheesed up.
That's
he
who
just
he
missed
is.
some shots. Like that happens. That happens. All I'm saying, chill. I'm just simply saying that Jokic in the time would have not done more than Chris Webber did against those dudes that Chris had to play against.
So
that's all I'm
nasty. Well, you just the random polls out of nowhere on Twitter, no context.
Random. I'm just interacting with the people.
He would have been Joker for all intents purposes, and everything that he brought.
Greg Ostertag.
Who's that? Jokic?
Is that what I just heard? Did I just hear?
Greg
Ostertag. Brian Reeves. You couldn't give him nothing.
Greg Ostertag.
Greg Jokic.
He wasn't doing nothing when we was playing real basketball. I don't know what this shit they doing in the NBA is today. I'm talking about real basketball.
Talking about real bigs like Joker's not going to be able to stop Shaq. He can't. He can't stop Shaq. Just like Tim Duncan couldn't stop him. And Tim Duncan was just like Dave Robinson couldn't stop him. These are elite defenders, and they couldn't stop him. So Joker wouldn't have been able to stop him neither. But he would have caused a lot of problems on the offense.
With that being said, though, like,
can we be honest about Shaq defense for once, please?
Oh,
I mean, Shaq was getting filleted. I'm sorry, bro. If he had to play against a big like this, he would be getting filleted.
What year are we talking about?
I'm talking about period. Shaq was
playing.
Shaq had good defensive years, but he obviously did not play offenses like this. Like Shaq would have been getting played. Let's please stop doing this.
I don't believe that.
He wasn't a better defender.
I don't think Joker is frying Shaq. I don't think
frying.
The thing about it too is
off the movement alone, it would be a fry session. Shaq in space versus that would have been a fry session, and Shaq was
so essentially what they're doing. So these two dudes are canceling each other out because
I don't know canceling. I don't do canceling.
Have given him hell. I just saw Brook Lopez twice give him the Pistons.
But canceling.
So I'm trying to figure out what
exactly. But this is what I'm saying. We use words like canceling. I'm just like I don't say that word. Who said like Gilbert and you? There's no canceling. Like Brook Lopez having 22 or 26 in that game. And then a minus 18 because he provides no real value. Like nothing you're doing is effectual. I'm saying like I don't know if they would cancel each other.
Value. That's 100.
I didn't say Shaq. Did I say Shaq wouldn't?
But that's what we're talking about.
If you would shut your hole, I'll be able to finish my point. But you won't let me talk. That's the problem. You ain't talking to Ox. You're talking to a real basketball knower. What I'm telling you is that in this situation right now, that if you had both of them play versus each other, I think it would be an interesting series. It would be a reflection of two different eras, and then they would both struggle with each other. But they would need an extra big to guard Shaq, obviously. But if you had another big on the floor next to Shaq with against Jokic, you're getting flied. You know, it's over.
I seen Nas Reed and Karl Anthony Towns.
Are we really gonna rewrite history on who was flaming Shaq in the playoffs at the center position? Can we really have this conversation?
Well, hold on, no. I'm talking about Shaq guarding Jokic. Now, you can bring all of that up, cool. I'm talking about Shaq guarding Jokic. I think Shaq would have gave Jokic some problems on defense.
When you say Nas Reed do what?
I'm not saying that he'll lock him up. Well, Nas Reed didn't lock him up. Karl Anthony Towns didn't lock him up. They just made it tough for him.
Which is the idea, Ron.
I think Shaq
I don't want to. Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? We shouldn't do this. Shaq had people he struggled with for years. So what are we doing? Including Arvydas Sabonis. He sucked down the stretch of that series versus Portland. Are we misremembering? Are we misremembering?
That's enough. You just named somebody else better than Jokic.
Cool, Ox, cool. Are we misremembering what Shaq did in these series? He played versus Rick Smith.
Y'all be scared.
Hey, respect Rick Smith.
No, I'm not respecting Rick Smith. No.
Okay, but it's centers like that we can do with Jokic too. Like, he didn't choose Rick Smith's. He didn't say, hey.
And Rick Smith gave him issues.
This
is what I don't understand. Like, we're rewriting
issues too?
His defense? Shaq's defense was largely predicated on his rim protection. Great, which he was okay at. But he was not doing it. Yeah, he wasn't
not an okay rim protector.
No, he wasn't. He was not Mutombo.
We're not going to rewrite it.
Mutombo. Hold on, time out.
But it's not Mutombo. Okay.
We're yelling into the mic. Cool. Now you're yapping. You are yapping now. That's what you're doing.
Mutombo, Alonzo Mourning, David Robinson were all better rim protectors than him. So he's not that tier. I'm not done. Shut your face. There was a gap between him and those players as rim protection. Is that not true? That's cool. But chill. He wasn't an elite rim protector like those guys. He wasn't. That's just a fact. But you can say he was good. You can say he was good.
He wasn't good.
That's fine.
No,
he was good. He wasn't. He was good. He was a good rim protector.
Just because he wasn't Mutombo at the rim does not mean that he wasn't elite.
I'm so glad. You know what can happen? 20 years from now, people are going to be like, wait, Swiper, in 2024, Jokic was second in steals. Yeah, he was a great defender. You should have seen him in those passing lanes. Wow, great defense. I'm going to do the same nonsense y'all do for Shaq.
It's not.
Y'all telling me about Shaq's defense.
He's not an okay rim protector.
He's a good rim protector. He's a good, but there's a gap between him and the elite rim protector. It is. And he can't move in space. He can't move in space in 2000. He's not guarding anybody on switch. He's not guarding in the drop. What are we doing? If he had to play versus these players, he'd be getting fried.
At the end of the game,
fried.
Yes,
What are you talking about, dog? If James Harden had him on an island and pick and roll, he's getting cooked. If Jamal Murray,
if James Harden has
Tyrese Halliburton, Tyrese Maxey, SGA, they're cooking Shaq. LeBron and Luka and Austin Reeves cooking Shaq.
Exactly.
I'm telling you, that's the problem. The further away he gets from the rim, the less value he would have. He's worse. He's worse in space than Rudy, than Anthony Davis, than Bam Adebayo, than Jared Allen, than Evan Mobley, than Chet Holmgren. Matter of fact, he's not a better defender than Isaiah Hartenstein. But y'all want to do this capping nonsense.
You know what?
He's not. He's objectively not.
Not true.
It is true. He was never known as a defensive ace at this point. He wasn't. So y'all can keep lying and clapping and do all this twerking for Shaq.
In 2000,
he wasn't known as this. No, I'm sorry. He wasn't. No, he wasn't. One season. And then he gets to the playoffs. He doesn't play versus any big. No big that gives him real issues because none of them are scorers. None of them are primary scorers until he saw Tim Duncan. Oh, Tim Duncan, the scorer. We're all so afraid. Dirk Nowitzki cooked him. Dirk cooked him too. Kevin Garnett cooked him too. Bring them up.
No, I didn't send you to hell when you started this conversation.
Bring them up.
This went from bad to worse.
This is just nonsense.
It's just bullshit.
Was Dirk and KG not cooking him? Was Dirk and KG not cooking him? I just want to know. Or were they not cooking him? I just want to know.
Would they cook Jokic?
Were they cooking Shaq? Were they cooking him?
Would they cook Jokic?
All right, we're lying. Okay.
Would they cook Jokic? Would they cook Jokic, Swiper?
Jokic got a steal on SGA in the clutch.
So Swiper, you're telling me that Jokic is a
that's
lock.
fine. I'm good with that. I'm good with this. The issue is we're pretending Shaq was an elite two-way player, and he was not. All right, we're lying. Okay, that's what I'm saying.
How do you not?
He may not have been for a long time, but that was.
He was. Like, I can't believe that I'm sitting here listening to you.
I'm here to stay.
He's still.
We can bring up multiple series where this wasn't true. But sure, but no, we don't do it. It's not PCL.
But don't bring up the times where he was fantastic.
Yeah, right.
I'm saying, Nick, but who did he? I'm saying, okay, cool. Who was he playing against in those series when he was a fantastic?
Swiper.
I'm just asking.
Okay, if it's series that if Jokic played, was Jokic fantastic against the Wolves when he was guarding Gobert?
Defensively, in the championship
at basketball.
Yes, he was excellent in that series. What are we doing? He averaged 30, 11, and 7, and he didn't make his three-pointers. Cool.
Great. Who was excellent in what series?
Yeah,
which Wolves series are we talking about anyway?
You're bringing up defense. So when we talk about Joker, was Joker exceptional against DeAndre Ayton? Because that's what we went up against.
By the way, I just want to be clear about that. That whole run, Joker was excellent defensively. So we can try to rewrite. No. He had 1 year. He had 1 year.
On defense,
he has 1 year.
But Shaq is just a.
I said 1 year. He had that 1 year. Shaq had 1 year. Jokic isn't a defensive ace. I'm not arguing that.
That was good.
I'm not arguing that. I'm not arguing that.
We got his ass.
Just a good.
No. Because this is what the issue. I never made the assertion Jokic was a two-way player. That never. This is the issue with y'all. Hold on, time out. I never at one point made the assertion Jokic.
Suspect has been detained. We got him down.
Because this is what I'm saying. That's a narrative. What I actually said was this is what I'm saying. We're building narrative. What I said is that Shaq was not an elite two-way player. I never made the assertion at any point in time. I'm not. Hush. I never made the assertion that Jokic. Okay, and I changed it to good. So move on. I changed it to good. So cool. Hold on, time out. Did I ever say Jokic was a very good two-way player? No. He asked me about that run. Jokic was excellent defensively that run. Yes, he was. That's all I said.
Who did he play against?
Okay.
No.
Anthony Davis. Hold on. Better offensive centers than he did. Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis. Rudy Gobert. DeAndre Ayton. Bam Adebayo.
Was he guarding Anthony Davis?
Was he guarding? Yes, he was. He was the main defender of Anthony Davis. I'll tell you, he was the main defender of Anthony Davis. And by the way, if you go back and look at, because this is how I know a bunch of casuals up here who don't want to look at the numbers. If you go back and look at how AD guarded Anthony Davis, I'm guarding it. I'm answering right now. If you go back and look at the series, Jokic played very well versus Anthony Davis in one-on-one that series. Excellent in one-on-one. And then throughout the playoff, I don't know if y'all know this, because a bunch of casuals up here, because again, we're doing one run. That was his best run. They were the best pick and roll defense in the league, in part because of KCP. Obviously, Bruce Brown. Obviously, no. I'm bringing up the context behind how Mars.
Sure.
KCP, Bruce Brown, all of them excellent, but Jokic was also very good in that run because he had adequate help. And then on the other end, he had a better offensive run than any of these dudes ever did. any of them ever did. So this is the problem. They would be cooking
You
each
remember
other.
we were talking about Dirk, right?
Yeah, Dirk. Well, Dirk is cooking everybody though. So I don't know if to tell you. Dirk cook OKG, Shaq, everybody can cook by Dirk.
So
Everybody.
Swiper, I know
He had a better offensive run than Shaq.
I know.
That's what you're saying.
Swiper,
Yes,
I know you're going to
yes,
try to
yes,
say, "Oh well, the eye test was this and eye test was that." And
Which
he
eye
didn't give Jokic all it is. All I'm gonna say is,
Swiper and the eye test.
I'm looking at the numbers.
No.
Well, Swiper's a number guy. I'm looking at the numbers that of Anthony Davis against every single series they played against Denver. And
No, that's not.
just,
No,
I know
you're
it's
not even
that
doing the right
year.
thing.
I know
I'll
it's not
do it. I'll
that
tell
year,
you.
but no,
I'll tell you. I'll pull it up for you right
I'ma
now
tell you.
because you're
I
looking
have
up
right
at
here.
totals. If you're looking
Okay.
at totals, that's what
Okay,
I'm
so
saying.
I'm gonna give you the totals, and then you add your context that you want to add.
I'm going to right now.
In 2019-20 in the Western Conference Final, this is obviously
1920. I said 23. What are you doing?
I know we're going 23. I said I'm gonna give you everything.
Golly.
Okay, so in 1920, I know you want to protect your king, but no, this has got nasty. So
you brought up the 23
nasty.
run, and you're going to 1920.
I know. I'm giving you
the only wants to talk about 10 games.
I know he does. I know he does. But we gonna talk about the whole thing.
I have a question for Swiper.
We're gonna talk about the whole thing.
We're not moving off the Chris Webber point, by the way.
Hey, we'll get back to that. I see this. Hey, I see this is a nasty episode, but let's keep going though. We can go down this street. In 1920, Anthony Davis against Denver averaged 31 points, only 6 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal, and a block.
47% of his mid ranges over that run. Yeah, he had his best offensive rating he's ever had. Yes.
Okay, in 22-23 against Denver when they got swept, Anthony Davis, 27 points, 14 rebounds, 3 blocks.
Yep, got swept.
But Jokic locked him up
and lost all his minutes. By the way, so in that series, just to be clear, so they at the primary
27, 14, and 3 blocks.
I'm bringing it up. I'm bringing
locked them up.
Whole time out. I'm bringing up the actual numbers on the one-on-one stuff. Here's the issue with you casuals. That dude, Jokic, baked, and Chill was clapping. I didn't even know Chill. Anthony Davis, he's the best defender in the NBA at this point, got worked the entire series. Everybody made fun of Anthony Davis for it. That series, one-on-one defense, Jokic spent, and then on top of that, Anthony Davis, they took him off of Joker. They took him off because of how bad it was. That's the issue. So this is what I'm saying. Anthony Davis versus Joker. When Joker was the primary defender on Anthony Davis shot 49% from the field on primary interior restricted area shots. That's good. That's really good. Primary restricted area shots. Now, that's really good in the paint.
So 27, 14, and 3 blocks. And
yes. But again, as the primary defender, it was a different story. That's what I'm trying to say. And this is what I'm saying. And then if we go to Anthony Davis, who is known as a two-way player in that series, Jokic was frying him. Who's a better defender than Shaq, by the way? I mean, this is what I'm saying. Is he a better defender than Shaq or no? Damn, it's a monsoon outside. Is he a better defender than Shaq? Chill.
Is Joker a better defender?
Is Anthony Davis a better defender than Shaq?
Yes, he is. Yes.
Okay, cool. I just want to make sure. Okay, cool. So no question marks. This all started with Chris Webber.
I have a question.
This all started with Chris Webber. I agree with Ox. Chris Webber's better. We can move on.
My issue.
Not so fast.
Now look, Baba. AD had no help. That's his job. What are you talking about?
No,
that's your job. Why do you Jokic? That's what I'm saying. Y'all are so inconsistent. Jokic doesn't deserve help, and if he wins,
he didn't say that. He said
I know, but then AD needed help. What do you mean you need help? Why? You locked up the Memphis Grizzlies and the Golden State Warriors. Why do you need help? The whole narrative going into that series with AD was going to put the clamps on that man 15 and got wrecked. Go ahead, Marge. You can ask your question now.
Yeah, because
for being nasty today, it's a nasty question.
I heard you so eloquently say Jokic was excellent defensively in the 2023 round.
Excellent.
And then you said Shaq was just a good rim protector.
But Jokic is not known. He wasn't excellent because of his rim protection. Respectfully.
Oh no, yeah, but okay, so
even though he had a really good.
I'm gonna ask you this, and I need you to be entirely honest. Who's better defensively?
Shaq.
2023 Jokic.
Shaq.
He's excellent on defense or good rim protector. Shaq. Okay, so why?
Whoa. Rim protection, yes, but Jokic.
No, he's only a good rim protector, and like you said, he can't move in space.
He can't, but Jokic moved well in space in that run. He did.
And Jokic was excellent defensively, by your own words. Yes. So why is Shaq a better defender? Why is
Well,
Shaq
no, I'm saying if you're
Jokic?
saying at that time in that era, they were not required to move in space to the same degree as they are right now. What I'm saying is, but Jokic, even in that run, didn't have to rim protect to the same degree. Now he did in the Miami Heat series, and he did well versus Bam. Like Bam was horrible versus Joker in that series. So what I'm saying is that
as the scorer, because I thought Bam was actually pretty.
No.
This is the defender. Okay,
no, because this is what I love. I love when Chill asks further clarifying questions because that's really important to do.
I just want to get back to how Jokic.
That's cool. That's cool. But Chill asked the question, so I'm gonna answer. I don't think people realize this, but Bam shot 40% in that series versus Joker
because of Jokic's defense, right?
He couldn't score on him. He's too big.
I'm just asking you, is it because Jokic was locked in? So I want
because he's too big. He is too big for Bam, and Bam could not score over him. Bam was trying to become a mid-range shooter in that series. He had a 50 true shooting in that series. 50. Because he couldn't score on the inside. A 50, Chill.
So where did his points come from?
Yeah, but it's Bam.
They came from mid-range. He just shot a lot of shots.
Who is Rich Smith and Dikembe Mutombo?
He just shot a lot of shots.
That's what I'm saying.
Can you go back to how
differently.
Shaq is better defensively than Jokic in 2020?
He's not. Yeah, I think in his era, with what he was required to do, he was better at it. I'm saying that if he had to transport to this era, he was a worse in space defender on the large than Jokic was in that 23
in today's
run.
game, he's a worse defender than Jokic.
Well, I mean, if this modern medicine and training and stuff, he'd be a better defender probably. I'm saying like
there's no time ever where Jokic is a better defender than Shaq.
Shaq didn't have to guard the same level of players.
I don't care. Even today. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Okay,
struggled with guards.
You're not finna yell over me.
I'm not even yelling. Shaq struggled versus guards and wings.
Now you shut your mouth. So look, I don't care. I don't care what year it is. I don't care what year it is. It could be today, yesterday, any year. There is never any scenario where Jokic is a better defender than Shaquille O'Neal. I don't give a damn what year you're talking about. It could be 23 or 32. I don't care. And keep your mic and you keep your mic muted. Go ahead. Keep talking to.
All right, so the poll initially started who's better, Chris Webber or Jokic. Now the new poll going up is who's a better defender.
No, because that's narrative. People don't actually. How many people on this actually watch Shaq? I'm not gonna lie to you. Like that run. That's what I'm saying. If you actually watch Shaq defensively, he wasn't known as that. But sure, he's gonna win it because Joker doesn't ever get love for what he does defensively. I've said he's not had a good defensive year.
What does he do?
I said that. But
the thing is, you said Shaq's better too.
Yeah, but
so you'd vote for Shaq on the poll.
But I think the error matters though, and how they had to defend.
And it 100% does matter. And I won't argue that point. But
Jokic and Shaq got lost a lot. Yeah. Like he just was not as engaged at times as he should have been. That's all I'm saying.
He struggled against the Utah Jazz in that pick and roll. He struggled against them.
So that's all I'm saying.
100%.
And the Blazers. Like
he was dominant in that. He was dominant in that King series when he played him in 2000.
But I'm saying we have multiple series where Shaq was not up to
defensively, especially particularly as a rim protector in that King series in 2001, he was dominant in that series. I think he averaged almost 4 blocks a game. I know he averaged over 3.
Couldn't defend the pick and roll.
I know that he averaged. I know he averaged over 3 blocks a game. Great.
Okay, but if he had the guard Steve Nash and Amari Stoudemire, he would have got flamed though, Chill. If he had to play versus that team, he would have got worked over.
And so would Joker.
But I'm saying I can't credit. But that's the most modern version of the offense that we could have seen, and Shaq would have been horrible versus them. So I'm saying I think they would have struggled with very similar things. The issue is Jokic, because of his inability athletically, is more defensively engaged when he has to be than Shaq is at times. Because Shaq physically. This is what I mean.
Just because
Jokic has to be. No, this is what I'm saying.
Swiper, I'm not gonna lie. This is absolutely disgusting.
No, I don't care. So you didn't say anything when he was talking about Chris Webber. I'm talking actual hoops now. The issue is Joker.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
Joker doesn't have the ability to not be engaged.
Because he's a slow fat fuck, he has to be engaged.
That's what I'm saying.
And because I'm engaged does not mean I'm going to be better.
What?
Just because I'm engaged does not mean I'm going to be better.
Shaq wasn't engaged and got cooked repeatedly. I'm saying when in that playoff run when he was, they were excellent. The whole team, they were the number 3 defense in the playoffs. The only 2 teams that finished higher than them defensively were teams that went out in the first round. Go ahead.
In fact, he was more engaged.
Yeah, but he wouldn't have been.
He ever was
with all that stuff.
That San Antonio Spurs.
This is that Hakeem and Fred VanVleet argument.
No, it's not.
This is what that is.
Jokic's limitation.
My biggest issue with this is the fact that so many people are they misremember how good Shaq was defensively for convenience.
Take that hat off real quick.
That's
You
it.
in a disguise?
That's all I'm
Is that
saying.
a Puma hat?
So we can move on. We can do whatever.
Mustache?
But I'm not going to play this game with y'all. That Shaq was
Benjamin,
a very good defender.
is that you?
Swiper, we're playing this game with you.
That's
Swiper
cool.
is-
I'm
For the
correct.
last
though.
30 minutes, it has
I
been
mean,
1-on-4.
I'm correct. Yeah, Shaq is a better
He's
defender.
going 99%.
No,
of the
Shaq's
way
a better
to say
defender.
Jokic
Shaq's
is
a better defender.
but
Shaq's
he
a better
won't say
defender.
it.
But Shaq's defense wasn't the reason why he was what he was, though. I want to be extremely clear about that.
Shaq's defense,
And he's a
defense
worse
in the
offensive
playoffs.
player than
Shaq's
Jokic.
defense
So,
in
like,
the playoffs
that's
is one of the main
Jokic
reasons
better than
why
Shaq?
they won the
Is Jokic
NBA
better than
championship back-to-back years. Shaq was awesome in the playoffs as a defender.
Oh my
That's
God!
not
I'm
true.
saying, but he
Piper?
playing versus no bigs that challenged him.
I'm glad you brought that up because he had to see Tim Duncan and Dave Robinson in the playoffs.
I'm sorry,
in
dog.
2001.
We can rewrite. David
David
Robinson was busting his face in too. Hakeem was busting his face in. What Hakeem dogged walked Shaq. Dog walked him. Hakeem was 6'9", and he dog walked him. Chill. Are you telling me in the NBA Finals? Oh no! Don't run! Don't run! Don't run! Did Hakeem not burn Shaq's house down in that NBA Finals?
He outplayed him in the NBA Finals.
Was he killing Shaq?
He outplayed him
in one-on-one.
I won't argue that.
What? No. Stop being nice about it. He killed Shaq in that series.
He destroyed everybody in the playoffs.
Okay, so there you go. Getting cooked and getting worked over. David Robinson did it too. David did it too.
So you talking about David Robinson when they swept them out of the playoffs in 2001? In the last two games that they played them, they beat them by an average margin of 30.
Yeah, all right. So two smaller players.
At least we're talking about all-time players right here.
Worst offensive players getting cooked.
Right, these are all-time great bigs.
Okay,
that Shaq is
I don't tell you.
and
Jokic is better. And Jokic is better offensively than all of them. And Jokic would have worked it. Would have ate his lunch in front of him. Ate his lunch in front of him. Chill. That's what I'm saying. So you big up Hakeem all the time, and don't acknowledge the fact that offensively, Jokic is even better than him. And so that's the issue. Shaq would have got his lunch ate every single game. Every single game.
That's incredible.
You don't agree because that's your favorite. That's why your logic doesn't follow.
No.
You think Hakeem can burn him, a smaller, worse offensive player than a bigger, better offensive player. That doesn't make any sense.
One, I don't like the word worse. Okay, less than. Okay,
no. What? Yeah. Hakeem was the worst offensive player.
Okay, less than. I could get with that.
Worse. Worse. Is Hakeem a worse offensive player than Steve Nash?
I think he's less than.
Ooh, Steve Nash. Yeah.
Is Hakeem a worse offensive player than Steve Nash?
They're gonna say
worse
offensive player than Steve Nash.
He's less than.
Jokic and Hakeem talks is ridiculous.
The thing about those Swiper is this.
No, Jokic is not in Hakeem talks offensively. They're not even close. They're not even close.
Different because
They're not even close offensively.
You're arguing two different points, Swiper. That's what you're arguing.
No, I'm not. I'm on. We have moved to Shaq's defense versus the elite of the elite, and I'm saying if those players kill him,
Robinson, how much more elite does it get?
Okay, I got it. Chill.
He dominated them.
Chill. No, chill. When I'm telling you if he struggled versus Tim Duncan, Hakeem, and David Robinson, just imagine what Joker would do to him. That's what I'm telling you. You're not willing to concede the fact that Joker is a better offensive player than all those players. You're not willing to concede that. That's the problem.
Is he a better scorer than Hakeem?
That's what I'm getting at.
Yes.
See, I don't know about
this version of Joker is 100% a better scorer.
Here's the thing.
100%.
Here's the thing. When we're talking about offensive players,
Mars, are you serious? Hakeem couldn't even
asking the question.
Relax.
Just
breathe, brother, breathe.
Just relax.
No,
I know we're attacking your kingdom.
I stayed out of it for Chris Webber. I stayed out of it. But once y'all brought up that Shaq nonsense about defense, I got turned up.
I know we are attacking your kingdom. I know you are at all time in all time defense mode right now.
Is Giannis your king?
Counterclockwise.
Just listen to me, Swiper. Just listen to me. As an offensive player, just like on defense isn't all about rim protection. It's not all about perimeter defense. It's not all about steals and blocks. It's a whole combination of everything. As an offensive player, nobody's denying, just relax, Swiper. Nobody's denying the greatness of Jokic when it comes to playmaking, when it comes to shooting, when it comes to even scoring on the block, and obviously distributing, all of that. Offensive rebounds, too, you can throw that in there, whatever you want to throw in there. Yeah. IQ, nobody's denying that. Yeah. What we are talking about is what Hakeem Olajuwon did versus Shaq. Jokic wouldn't necessarily do the same thing. Wow. Now, obviously, he's going to I'm about to get into it. Obviously, he's going to get his teammates involved. Obviously, he's going to do a great deal of playmaking. Is Jokic going to eat Shaq's lunch the way Hakeem did? Is he going to get Shaq on the block and put him in a popcorn machine with 50 different counters?
Wipe a breeze with me.
Hey, 50 different counters.
Ron is the voice of reason right now.
Hey, no. Wait.
Hold on, Swiper. Let me just finish right quick.
Mars interrupted you first. I was responding to Mars. Go ahead.
Is he going to get Shaq on the block and just light him up? Or is he going to score in a myriad of ways? My thing is, Hakeem took it straight to Shaq's chest and let him have it. I don't know if Jokic can do that against Shaq and be successful. I don't know. As a matter of fact, I don't think
Jokic is the best post score of. This is what I'm saying.
Of what?
I'm gonna break it down for you because this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. Now you're being
Jokic is the best post scorer ever.
No,
I didn't. Because he realized he was talking out his mind.
This is. I'm gonna break it. No, chill, hush. Because you don't believe Joker is a better passer than Wilt. You hush. You're not in this conversation.
I'm asking you a simple question.
The issue is
Joker
is the best post scorer of the modern era.
Is he better on the box than Olajuwon?
Like easy.
Is he better on the box than Olajuwon?
Is he better on the box? That's what I'm saying. Shaq. From Hakeem to Shaq, and then the next level is Joker. Like those are the three best post scorers.
Joel Embiid is the best post scorer.
No, not even close. No, not even close. And then on top of
that,
that,
Giannis and
Giannis. Okay, this is what I'm saying. Now we're lying. So this is what I'm saying. Okay. Just time out. If we're doing scoring,
this argument,
Jokic is a far better jump shooter. 3-point shooter. The even just the floater area. There's nobody that's ever been as good as Joker from that floater area ever. Is there a disagreement to that?
Can we air attach this? Can I see what Hakeem would have averaged in today's game?
I think Hakeem's a better mid-range shooter than you.
100% he is. Olajuwon was great in the mid-range. 100%.
3-point shot and floater stuff. I'm with them.
I'll give you the long ball. I will definitely give you the long.
Mars,
I will give you
the data for.
Here's the difference.
No, chill. You don't chill. You won't even give me passing over Wilt. I don't want your opinion. I don't want your opinion. You think Wilt's a better passer than Joker?
And I will give you the floater. I will
chill. You're disengaged from this conversation. You think Wilt and Jokic are on the same tier offensively as passers, and even as offensive players. What are you doing?
I think Olajuwon is better in the mid-range and on the box. This is what it is between Olajuwon.
It is a huge gap, humongous.
I'm not gonna lie. I want y'all to go back. Every single elite big that Joker has played against in a playoff setting, he has destroyed. No, but chill. You're just okay. You're just doing it. I can see the difference between me and you, chill. I can actually bring the information to the table. You're just writing what you like, chill. That's the issue.
When you get him back on the box again, Ron,
go ahead.
Flipping through the whole chapter of
I'll wait for this segment to end.
When he has all of that stuff, there's a gap between both Joker and Olajuwon on the box, and it's not close.
So we're doing this nonsense again. So chill. You do realize? No, Ron. This is what I'm saying.
This is not nonsense.
This is what I'm saying.
I think Olajuwon
people don't realize this. Okay, chill. You're done. Your segment's done. The issue is even how you guard Joker is fundamentally different.
Yes,
you having to play up on Joker and Joker's ability to get by you consistently on the off-ball movement alone would be a problem for every other big because no other big had to defend other bigs like that. Even just the face cutting stuff alone would have been a problem. The transition stuff with Jokic would have been a problem. On top of that, he's an elite post scorer. He's an elite mid-range shooter. He's the best floater shooter ever. He's an elite three-point shooter. So if you have a player that you quite literally cannot stabilize one-on-one, and then on top of that, he's the best passer that you've ever seen at the position, well, not the chill. It makes it almost unguardable. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. He would have cooked Hakeem, Shaq, David, Malone, everybody, because they just have never seen anything like that. And that's just the truth. That's the objective truth. That's why Joker's the best.
Hold on. Lock Jokic.
No, all right.
Lock Jokic. And I don't care. I don't care what you say. Hakeem will lock Jokic. Okay. David Robinson
a much smaller player. Yes, a much smaller player. And then on top of that, Jokic's footwork is tier 1 ever. Ben Wallace, the defensive block. Well, I'm saying tier 1. He's a tier 1. I'm saying he's a tier 1.
There are different tiers though.
To you. I think Hakeem and Jokic are tier 1 box players. 100%. Like like for me, and just even just getting over the top, the fadeaway over the shoulders, like all that stuff that Joker does, all of it. Like,
hey, the same thing you were saying about the gap in rim protection with Mutombo versus Shaq. That's the gap on the block.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Now we're just jazzing. I'm not.
No,
we're not. Joker literally doesn't have a flaw offensively.
I don't think
y'all understand how big a deal that is.
It's been 4-on-1 for the last 40 minutes, and you're trying to tell us that we're crazy.
Because I'm telling you, you don't have the argument on your end.
It's 1,863 people in here.
I don't care. That's cool. I will stand in this corner. 1,900 people. But that's the problem. You think y'all, maybe I don't know if y'all think. None of you actually think that Joker and Hakeem are in the same tiers offensively. So that's what I'm saying.
I don't think Jokic belongs in conversations with Hakeem Olajuwon.
That's why I'm telling you. You have consistently undersold how good he is. That's what I'm telling you.
You undersold how good Hakeem Olajuwon is.
He wasn't in his tier offensively, though. That's what I'm saying. Like, we're not being honest. Jokic is in the tier with Steph, Nash, and others. That's where he is. No, I do. I do. The issue is, Chill, you won't be honest. Chill, you think Chill. You think Wilt Chamberlain and Joker are on the same tier offensively?
You don't.
I'm telling you, no.
What about just as a basketball player?
We're talking
offense. We have to ignore
the offense.
No,
we're not ignoring it. We moved to the offense. We moved to the offense. Chill, you legit dead ass think that Wilt and Jokic are on the same tier offensively. And you want me to take you serious? That's what I'm telling you.
And you want me to take you serious by saying you want me to take you serious when you tell me that Joker clears everything that Hakeem Olajuwon is offensively.
I think he's a much better offensive player. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. He's a much better offensive player.
So just like how you like to keep defense out of it, let's keep all the other offensive stuff out of it. Just talk about simply block work. Right? Can we do that too, Swiper? How far can we dissect?
They don't want to do that.
I mean, I'm fine with that. But the thing is, that's all Hakeem would. Well, I'm saying that's cool. Like Hakeem, that would make Hakeem great. But the issue is like, I think Joker's also a tier 1 offensive box worker of all time. So like, that's me though.
He's not
like some people think that the tier 1 for defenders is reserved for Jabril Russell. I think Hakeem's in that conversation with him.
Like you don't think that Hakeem Olajuwon is in the same.
Ray Allen can both be tier 1 shooters, but we know.
No, I don't. No, Stanford never gassing.
There's a gap between those two, and they're both tier 1. And just like you think that Olajuwon, just like you think Joker is a tier ahead of him as a box player, I mean, as a passer,
as a passer.
To say that Olajuwon, his box work was primarily. I mean, Olajuwon had a mid-range game, and
do you think?
Which was better than Joker's, that made him so much better.
But Joker isn't Joker.
So much better.
Joker has been one of the best mid-range players in the last 10 years. Like his volume and efficiency is up there with Kevin Durant and Kawhi. That's what I'm saying. What are you talking about?
Later on in his career,
you're just looking at numbers, dog.
They count floaters as mid-range because they're like.
I don't even think. Have you ever seen? Have you ever seen Hakeem on the block?
The numbers are kind of skewed.
Yes,
have you ever seen Hakeem on the block?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I know for a fact I've watched Hakeem more than you. I'm the one that's big up in Hakeem. Yes, but I've also watched every single Joker.
You guys are damn near the same age, so I mean.
Yeah, we are. We were 1 year different.
My only thing is like watched him 10 times more than me. With what I seen, it's not a. We shouldn't even be having this debate.
Hold on. Wait, Chill. You said something about passing. You don't think Jokic is a tier better passer than Hakeem?
I didn't say that. No, I said that.
I do.
I said that Olajuwon became a better passer later on in his career. I didn't say.
Okay, but how much better is Joker than Olajuwon?
I think Joker is a better passer. I think there's a gap between those two guys, 100%.
A bigger. So is there a bigger gap between the post work or the passing?
Post work.
No. I want him to answer this.
Yeah, please let me answer that. So to answer your question,
I'm gonna shut up.
The gap between passing between Joker and Olajuwon is this. I think there's a clear gap between them two. The gap between Olajuwon and Joker on the box is this.
Okay. Oh, you guys.
What about defense?
Hey, hold on. But you know what's even bigger?
What about defense?
Hey, the gap between defense is from the ceiling to this floor.
There is no way you're saying the gap is closer as passes than post scorers. There's no way.
That was crazy. No, but wait, see, Swiping. That's why you should have did breathing exercises with me. Now you all frustrated, turning red and shit. You the same color as your hat. Should have did some breathing exercises with me.
I'm not about to side with Swiper, but Jesus Christ.
I don't know if I agree with that, Chill, but I do think it's pretty close, you know. I think it's pretty close. And then when Swiper allows us to actually talk about the whole totality of basketball, when he allows us to open it up, because he only allows us to open it to passing and this and that. We can't talk about defense. When we get to doing that, it just shows that's the biggest gap there is.
See, that.
If we get to talk about all around just real basketball, then it's not really a conversation. I don't want to have any more Jokic conversations.
I just know that this is the environment that I'm in, and I realize that. That's why I'm okay being wrong in this environment. So I'm telling you,
now you're just gonna discredit the environment.
I am. We don't want to hear that. Any of you that think that the gap between them as post scorers is smaller than the gap between passing, Joe, to show me you don't know what you're talking about and you're biased.
I said I disagree with that. I said I don't agree with that.
Chill, you're by yourself with that. But we can all agree that the defensive gap is bigger than the playmaking gap. We can agree with that.
I can't say that is. So, okay, so let me rephrase that. I think Joker is a much better passer than Olajuwon. I think Olajuwon is a much better box player than Joker. Much better.
Right.
Yeah, we can agree.
Are we allowed to talk about defense?
You changing your language doesn't make what you said any worse. I'm not going to lie to you. You said something egregious. It was wrong. That's right of you. That's right up there with you and your Wilt nonsense with him passing. Both of them. Both the two your worst takes of all time. And I'm good. The defense, Hakeem and Bill Russell are two best defenders ever. So you'll never hear me say anything about that. But I'm saying to you, this is why I know I'm objective about Hakeem because I have Hakeem higher than most people do. But my whole issue with this is if we're having honest conversation about the offensive stuff, Joker is clearly a better offensive player for a duality of reason. And Ron, before you start speaking hot breath again, what I'm telling you is that when you talk about what Joker is, there's so much untruth that y'all say about that man. And this is how I know this is a disingenuous space. This whole thing started because Ox and his Chris Webber nonsense. And mostly y'all let it fly, except for Mars. No, Ron, before you start breathing
jumped
again.
Off a cliff.
No, that's cool.
And you decided to outdo him.
No, and then chill is delusional.
Definitely hasn't been worse than what Ox said.
And then chill said another horrific take, but because he's fun and lovable old man Chill, it gets no one really cares about it. No one really cares about it. I understand what kind of spaces is this.
Now you're done. Now you stop talking. Okay, first of all, Ox and I were talking about Chris Webber and Joker, and I was talking about how much better Joker is. I don't know what you're talking about. I talked about how much better Joker would be.
Oh, you and Hakeem, you and Hakeem and Wilt, your vision is so slanted by black and white television.
You guys,
genuinely think
you genuinely color.
Yes, he 100% did. No, he 100% played in color.
When Hakeem got drafted in the 80s, you still had a black and white television. This is what I'm telling you. You are so biased towards the old era. I'm cool. I'll acknowledge. No, look, watch. I'm acknowledging my bias. Chill. Let me do it. Chill. Let me do it for the record. If we're in court, I want to tell the judge I'm biased towards Joker. I realize that skews my views.
You're not allowed to.
I am acknowledging that. But chill. You are a delusional poop. If you think that Wilt Chamberlain and him are in the same tier,
you are too.
But chill. I have never made the assertion that Jokic and Wilt are in the same tier as passers, and Hakeem and the gap between them as post players is closer than the passing. That makes no sense.
I'm biased too. I'm biased, but this dude is delusional. Hey, Ox, I ain't really a crackhead. I just smoke a lot of crack. What the hell?
Oh yeah, you a crackhead for sure.
What the hell is going on here?
Chill, you're hilarious. Chill, why is it so hard? Wait, chill. Why? But what does it do for you?
Losing a poop.
Yeah, you're the same one who talks about Joker the way you talk about him, but I'm delusional.
Why is it so hard for you to acknowledge? Hold on, chill. Why is it so acknowledged to you that Jokic is a different tier offensively than Hakeem and Wilt? What is it about? Like, what is it that makes it hard for you?
Well, Wilt's clearly better than Hakeem on offense too. Just making that clear. They're in different tiers.
Well, I'm asking chill because you're going to give me your reason. I want to know why he's so biased for them.
Okay, first of all, Hakeem Olajuwon, as a box player, I already know because I've seen him. I've seen Olajuwon, and I've seen what he's done over the course of his career. Just like you've seen Joker, and you're watching Joker right now in real time. And this is not I don't think it's a bias more than this is just you seeing them. Because a bias is being unfair. I'm not being unfair. I saw Olajuwon. I saw how good he was as a box player. I saw how good he was as a mid-range player. I saw how good he was on defense. I saw how good he was as a glass cleaner. But if we stick strictly to offense, I saw how much better he got over the course of his career. And because of that, that's why I put him where I put him as a player offensively. I'm not just saying Olajuwon is better than Joker just because. No, I saw him and I saw what he did. I saw how much better he got on the box, facing up, shooting in the mid-range. I saw how much better he was in transition. It's not a bias. It's just me seeing him and evaluating that from what I saw. I didn't have the information today that I had back then. I had to just go with what I saw. And that's what I saw with Olajuwon. And if I'm going off of what I saw, watching Hakeem Olajuwon as a box player, watching Hakeem as a mid-range player, there is no huge gap between him and Joker.
I think they're in different tiers offensively, personally.
Obviously you got to add in the playmaking once again, like how I said, but as just scores.
Oh, I'll have the scoring conversation. I'd probably favor Hakeem. I don't know, but I'd have the scoring conversation.
I think the separation is on the box with Olajuwon as a scorer.
I think it's just the willingness.
That's why I think the separation is between Olajuwon and Joker on the box.
Hakeem will go get a bucket,
but he can't. Sure, okay.
All right, though, y'all. It's been chaotic. It's been fun, and I
started it. Blame Ox.
It's been the panel over the last about hour or so. But let's go ahead and get into the super chats because, well, we've made hot takes and the people have hot super chats to react to it. So let's go ahead and start from the top. My man, Your Highness Charles said, I like Jokic, but the racist comments from Eastern Europeans on social media towards SGA is getting disgusting now. And it needs to be called out. Right, Swiper?
Oh, please don't bring me into calling racism out. I feel like I do this too much, and so
we can have a whole segment about it.
Yeah, I feel like I do this more than anybody on NBA Twitter. So we can just move off of me because I'll go on a rant.
I didn't know that was going on. To be honest with you, I really.
Oh, anytime. Respectfully, whenever you have a white player that's really dominant, they're always going to get a lot of folks that are like that. So that happened with Bird in the '80s. We just haven't had a player like this since Bird. So I think that's kind of why this is what it is. We haven't had a best player in the world be white since Bird. So, we haven't seen it in 40 years.
Pretty confident.
We just didn't have Steve Nash.
Or Dirk Nowitzki. He was definitely in that conversation.
Yeah, but he wasn't. They weren't they didn't have the consensus public opinion among most people that and Dirk was as controversial as he was. And this is why I know I won that debate yesterday. He didn't get over the top until 2011.
Wait, you think you won that second round?
No, not the second round. The first and third, yes. Okay. He said some nonsense, and then it turned into a yell session over nonsense. Factually, I know I was correct about everything I said. So the issue is number two. By the way, Ron, there was a lot of miscommunication, I think, on my end because we had 5 topics we had settled on, and then we settled on 3. I didn't update my notes, so that was on me. So that's why I thought it was still the scoring one, Ron. In the second phase. That's why I was like, because I had a whole.
You tried to pull this same shit last season.
No. I lost last. No.
You lost again.
This was I won. This was a miscommunication thing. But no, I think anytime people think that we should talk.
I didn't know. I did not know that though, Swiper. That there was this racial.
Yeah, everybody thinks that the reason. Not everybody. A lot of white people think the reason Joker's not getting love is because. Black people, and they call it Black Americans. They don't value the things that.
But he gets plenty of love over here, though. Joker gets plenty of love by Black people.
Most Black Americans I know, except for people that are vehemently against him, think he's the best in the world. So
he's awesome.
He's a hell of a basketball player. He's definitely
he's awesome.
He's pretty good for sure.
Yes,
the dude's all right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. All right, y'all. And in case you missed the PCO yesterday, we have some phenomenal matchups. But today, we are right back at it again with the Sweet 16 at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Big Ox will kick off against Big ZZ. I think that's going to be his name after tonight. Big ZZ versus Big Ox. And then after that, we got the kid from Ohio versus John D. And capping off tonight, we got Penn. He's had a hell of a 24 hours. Penn versus Logan, who may have a hell of a 24 hours ahead of him as well. But y'all make sure you tap in tonight. And after the PCL tonight, boosted legacy, more legacy talk. You gotta love it, Mars. After this, then we are on Playback tonight, watching the Rockets versus the Lakers. And if you missed Playback last night, you're probably not going to want to miss it again tonight because, Playback has turned into let's just say, a very entertaining place. Shout out to Playback. Shout out to PC. Shout out to the PCL. And shout out to everybody who will be advancing to the Elite Eight. We will have results from all the Sweet 16 matchups later this week. So you guys tap in tonight and just buckle your seatbelts.
Friday? No?
I haven't heard back from the committee, so I'm not sure yet.
Well, I mean, we could. I think they have the results of my debate already.
But look, shout out to the PCL. Shout out to everybody in the Sweet 16. Shout out everybody that earned their spot to get there too.
Yeah, that's a different subsection of people. So, not everybody.
Shout out to everybody that won to get to where they are.
Yeah, some people, politics, you know. Some people just didn't compete.
Sam Burhane said, "Y'all should check the Grizzlies' schedule. They might slip to 7th in the West.
They could.
Yeah, it's not ideal. Their schedule coming up is the Celtics tonight, then the Warriors, the Heat, the Pistons, the Hornets, the Timberwolves, the Nuggets, and the Mavericks. Yikes. So it's a tough schedule. Hornets is obviously a free win, but some tough games in there. And Dallas are going to have to play till probably the last game, assuming Phoenix stay on their tail, or they want to just try and get the 9 seed and be home court in that first playing game. Yeah. So they don't even have the fortune of that last game being like a free one. They probably have to compete to the end. Besides maybe that Denver game, Denver just chilling, but everyone else playing for something.
All right. Also, the poll is still up. It's been running for 28 minutes. Who's a better defender? Jokic versus Shaq, and Shaq has taken 82% of the votes. So shout out to everybody that participated on that poll, and shout out to everybody that has turned their notification bells on. And MJ235 sent through another super chat and said, "What 5 guys would you take to start a playoff series?" Can we agree on 5 guys? Let's each just get a guy. Let's each get a guy.
Oh, okay. Shea.
That's easy.
Tatum.
Shea, Tatum.
Was just giving everyone the opportunity to get that player. So Swapper can go take Jokic. And then Ox can take some.
That kind of gives us a bad
I want you go. Okay.
Is it all time?
We'll go current. He didn't clarify.
All right, so who you got current?
Wait, give me. I just want to make sure you're building a good team. Who we got so
far?
No,
I'm saying you go first and then I'll follow.
I got SGA.
Okay. Shea and Tatum.
SGA and Tatum.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Nice give me Ant.
Shea, Tatum,
SGA, Ant, Tatum. Okay.
Off to a good start.
Well, I think we can put Jokic on that team then.
Yeah, I mean, y'all know who I'm gonna pick.
Who are you gonna pick, Ron?
Giannis. He's taking Giannis.
No, Austin Reeves.
Oh, come on, dog. You ruined the team.
Come on,
all right. Bam.
Okay, that's fair.
Good defense too. Somebody got to play defense down there on the block. You know,
that's why I chose Bam.
Oh, nice. Okay.
The next super chat is from MP13. MP said, "I think Ox doesn't actually like the NBA. He stays down playing the sport. He's starting to sound like these old heads who remember the highlights from their childhood, and that's what they think the game was back then."
Ox, shout out to your highlights.
The highlights did come from the game. So
I guess the thing about it is, Mars, when you got children that haven't been alive that long, they think that there's no way you can remember something that happened 15 years ago. That's because they don't know about that. You know what I'm saying? Those are the type of people that think 3 years from now is so long because they've never. It's, you know what I'm saying? They've only been alive for this long, like 3 years. That's tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? So I understand that. But you don't have to think I don't care much for the NBA because I'm openly say I don't care much for the NBA. I like basketball. Okay, I'm not an NBA fanatic. I'm a basketball fanatic. So you don't got to think about it. I've said that multiple times on this platform. I'm not an NBA fan. I'm a fan of basketball.
Hey, Ox, I like that. You actually remember what happened back in 2002? Because I'll just be spitballing.
Usually you do.
Well, Ox definitely remembers 2002.
Yeah.
All right.
Definitely
2003, 2001, 2004.
Like I told my daughter countless times, I wasn't always your father. So,
right, you know. But you know, these kids, man, they're like, "Oh my God, something you can't remember something that happened in 2006." Like, what?
I think you can remember what happened. I don't think you can remember the nuances, but I might be wrong.
I remember basketball.
Mars, in 2035, you don't think you're gonna remember what happened when Jokic played against AD?
I think I remember.
Or Steph against the Celtics.
I think I can remember broad. I think I can remember like Steph torched the Celtics, and I can remember the Celtics played a drop coverage. I remember that. Am I going to remember the nuances? No, I don't remember nuances from games last year. I have to go back and watch.
But you don't remember how good Steph was, though.
Yeah, but we can remember. See, this is what I'm saying. We can remember broad things. Like Chill can remember how good Larry Bird was. Absolutely. But is Chill going to remember how good Larry Bird was in defensive rotations? Like maybe
in the third quarter in a playoff game.
Maybe not. Maybe he does. Like, but as time goes on, you remember.
So you do that all the time.
You remember the encompassing point. You'll remember Michael Jordan was the greatest player of the 90s. You remember that. But will you remember the nuances to Michael Jordan? Once you start looking smaller, then that's when
but defensive, like, so to specifically to that point right there. I don't know if you're just being broad, just use that for a quick example, right? But remembering somebody's defensive rotations, I'm not talking about specifically, like, Chill, can you remember what happened in the second quarter, 5 minutes left? No, that's crazy. But you can remember stuff like, how they rotated on defense, how they kicked the ball out early, how they certain things about the game, those nuanced things.
You can remember tendencies.
That's basketball stuff that you should be able to remember. Like a specific timestamp on the game. No, I don't remember stuff like that. No, but do I remember the way somebody played basketball and the intricate, things about their game? Hell yeah, because I'm watching basketball. I don't think those are things that you would forget.
Yeah, I can get with that. I think sometimes it just comes down to then it's remembering how effective were they at those type of things. I think now it's going to be easier just because we're in the age of tracking. So like when I grow old, like 2050, if I'm still alive, like they're going to have tracking data for these things. So if I say X player was really good navigating screens, go to a nice little website that you have to pay for real quick. Screen navigation. Oh, look. There you go. This number shows I remember he was good navigating screens. You don't have that for the 90s and the 80s. Like you have to go back and watch. And that's when I say, like, I'm always going to value my opinion of games that I know I've watched over someone remembering what they watched 40 years ago. 1985 was 40 years ago. Chill was around in 1985. I know Chill watched the 1985 NBA Finals.
I did.
What I also know is, for example, if I watched 1985 Finals 2 weeks ago, I'm going to trust my opinion on that series more than Chill's, even if he was alive at the time. Because I watched it 2 weeks ago. He watched it 40 years ago. Big difference in terms of what I have to remember.
Well, that's why how we know Magic Johnson wasn't a good defender, because they were consistently targeting him. And we have information and also interviews that said just that, by the way. But, whatever. Chill. Ox, did you see Kim Mulkey respond to that reporter about the Elite Eight stuff? Somebody said this is sure. They said this is the second straight year you guys have eliminated from the Elite Eight, and she said that's terrible, isn't it? She said, how many Final Four did you plan? Obviously, the reporter said 0, and she was like, "Oh, so that's pretty good, isn't it?" Like, Kim is so salty, dog. Like, she don't let nothing slide.
Stuff like that. Like, I mean, I guess that's a cool little comeback. You know what I'm saying? But it don't.
I'm saying the reporters just doing their job.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, that's a reporter. That's what they're supposed to do. But I think a lot of times basketball players and pro basketball players, NBA players and coaches and stuff like that specifically, they take low blows like that, and it really like it's supposed to be some points or stripes or something like that. That's not a good. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a reporter. They're doing their job. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like when people say
it ain't nothing wrong with cooking a reporter.
No. Like I said, that was a quick comeback. That was cool. It was funny, but it don't really mean nothing.
No, I'm not on Kim Mulkey's side. Like, trust me, I'm saying that.
And they know when to ask questions too. It's right after the game. Emotions are high, so of course you don't say something.
Did they win the Natty 2 years ago, or did they play in the Natty 2 years ago, or 3 years? I mean, 3 years.
They won it. They won it
3 years ago. Yeah, back
2
to
years
back.
ago. They beat Iowa.
That's right. Yeah, so I'm saying that's a legit question for me. I don't know what the.
Yeah, but shout out to all 4 teams that advanced to the Elite Eight.
Who's in
matchups? UConn versus USC, and then we have Texas versus South Carolina, right? Texas versus TCU.
UCLA won.
Right.
Oh,
UCLA won, right?
Yeah, UCLA's in it.
Oh, it's still the Elite Eight for them, right?
Yeah, we ain't at the Final Four.
That's the last.
We ain't at the Final Four yet.
Who's TCU play against? It's out of who?
TCU and Texas.
Yeah, Texas. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then it's USC and UConn today. Ooh. So y'all be sure to tap in.
Mm-hmm.
Herb Young said, I usually don't do this, but I need the number to Players' Choice Human Resources. Ox said Weber is better than Jokic, and Jokic would be Greg Ostertag. 5 show suspense in. A message needs to be sent. Don't worry, Herb. I got you. I'll set it up top.
That was.
As a matter of fact, Herb,
okay, first of all, we don't gotta get human resources involved. That's trouble. I don't want to have to go sit in the office.
Put Ox in a suspension.
All I know is we were having an X's and O's conversation about the Cleveland Cavaliers, and Ron so brutally interrupted us, and we never got back to it. And then and then the narrative started after that. So if anybody you're gonna blame,
it was actually a really good conversation too. We were talking about the Boston Celtics and the Cavs and switching and
that was on today's episode. How are we going from that?
It was actually a really good conversation.
Because Mars, what happened was you know what I'm saying? I'm tapped into my inner Gen Z. I was in my inner Gen Z, and Swiper triggered me.
I didn't even say anything. I didn't even start that convo.
Swiper triggered my inner Gen Z.
I didn't start that convo. Why am I
about to say when you tried to compare your weak ass Nuggets to my 2002 teams, I couldn't stand it. You know what I'm saying? You triggered me, bro.
That's what it was. We were gaslighting me. Steph Curry.
No, you triggered me. You were gaslighting me, and so I decided to tell my truth. I tapped into my inner Gen Z.
Okay.
We were talking about Steph Curry.
And if you guys keep sending super chats like this, I'm gonna take an emotional rest day tomorrow.
Hey, they are mandatory. They are mandatory.
Yes, and tapping into my inner Gen Z, you get paid for those days too. So
keep it up. You don't.
Keep it up.
I get paid for those days. When you sit out, I get paid.
I'm not sitting out, Ron. I'm not sitting out, Ron. I'm triggered, Ron. I'm triggered. Yeah. I'm triggered right now. Okay. Mental health day. You guys are gaslighting me.
You need mental health is the most important form of health.
And on top of that, now the chat is cyberbullying me.
Are they? Let me see.
So what were y'all doing earlier when it was 4v1? What was that?
Who's gonna?
Where was you when Penn was getting bullied?
I wasn't on the show. What are you talking about?
I seen you.
Where? When?
That's the one. Swiper, I got bullied right here.
When?
And Swiper, you got some nerve. Every time I turn around, I got to put my dukes up with you. You got some nerve.
Wait, but we're doing that because we're bestie. Wait, the playback where Penn got cooked, or the
playback
like here?
The playback.
Well, no. I was in the car. I was just listening in.
Seen you.
I was
every
not
time
talking.
Penn getting fried. All of a sudden, you show up on camera.
I was trying to
camera was off. Mars, his camera was off.
Exactly.
Something happened. All of a sudden, his camera was on. He's looking like this.
You got to remember. Hold on. PCHR. Y'all got to remember. I have a hearing problem, so I have to turn the camera on to read lips.
No, you don't.
To read the
no,
lips,
you don't.
And I had to lean in.
You don't have to turn your camera.
You don't need to turn your camera to
Yo, we moving on. Hey, we are moving on.
What does your camera have to do with their lips?
It's like when you turn. Hey, wait. It's like when you turn the music down when you're parking. Yeah, that's what that is.
The last 16 hours between Players' Choice panelists and members and community has been absolutely disgusting. But let's keep it moving. Straw Hat Sale said, outside the elderly, I think we can agree today is way more skilled than Shaq's time, specifically on the perimeter. Shaq was great, was a great defender in his era. Sorry, but he wouldn't be today.
Mm-hmm.
TJ McConnell would cook.
Well, TJ McConnell just like that. I'm not telling you. But
you think Brooke Lopez look bad in space right now? 05 Shaq.
Can we read the next one?
05 Shaq. Oh damn.
Multi Kenny, right on schedule, said the PCL is heating up. Playback stream was a must watch.
Yeah,
I
watched the beef this morning.
Well, what I want to know is how many and Penn know what he's doing. How many people is Penn gonna have beef with? I'll talk to him this week about it. But it started with me, and then it moved to Gifted, and then it moved to Hayes, and now it's with who? I don't even know. It did not
start with you, Swiper.
Who? It was Low? Was it Low?
Low.
Started with Low. Okay.
Yeah, but I don't know, man.
I was Nigerian and then backed off.
Those people have a lot in common. Interesting.
Shout out Low Down, PCL judge.
Interesting.
Low
down. I really wish yesterday didn't happen. Though. That didn't sit well with me. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't cool. We got to find a way to love each other, y'all.
Well, speaking of loving the people, let's continue to love these super chats. I got one from John Cena. He said, "Where does 34 end up this summer? # new beginnings."
He does not end up in Denver. I can tell you that.
Why?
So,
Why?
No,
if he asked for the trade? If he asked for it?
No.
Chill, wait. Why does your GOAT and your current GOAT get to play with superstars and mine doesn't? Why is that the case?
Okay, first of all, it is a good question. And I didn't say that he doesn't. What do you have? What do you have?
If he asks for a trade to Denver, they'll give him everything.
Well, first of all,
Porter's gone, Gordon's gone, Peyton's gone, Christian's gone.
Just because you ask for a trade somewhere specifically, that doesn't mean that we're going to honor that.
I got you a championship. What you
what
talking about?
do you have in Denver?
I'm the best player
wants?
you've had since Kareem, and I've done everything
that's all
for this
great.
franchise.
I am the Denver. I'm the Milwaukee management. I'm the Milwaukee management, and what does Denver have that I want for Giannis?
MPJ
and Aaron Gordon and Peyton Watson and Christian Brown, all on the table.
Hey, you better put
and Zeke Nnaji.
If Giannis,
you better put Bo Nix in there, Deion Sanders, Travis Hunter.
Every time. If you don't do it in any other situation, your nose ain't running.
If Giannis is asking out, that means that I got to start over.
Cool.
Yeah.
And you start over with like role players you can trade and assets and pick.
Yeah, you build around Kyle Kuzma, make the Washington Wizards in Milwaukee.
No, we're not doing that. So I clearly got to get somebody else involved. I may have to get a third team involved in this because I don't know with Denver straight up.
Man, y'all tripping, bro. So
all I know is got Cam Whitmore.
Okay, well, Houston, if he goes to Houston, he ain't winning nothing. So he better not go there.
To be honest with you, I don't
he ain't winning jack nothing, bro.
I don't think
Alperen Şengün and Giannis. Ugh.
Şengün's in the trades.
Jalen Green and Giannis. Ugh.
Just in case he asks out, I'm buying a couple extra suitcases just in case I got to pack.
What do you mean?
Every time the Bucks suck, is Giannis is going to leave. Like maybe
that's it. Every time. That's what we dealing with. I don't think he's asking out.
I don't know, Mars.
You might be on the move this summer too. My bags is packed right by the front door. I got everything. I got my
ready for when DeMontis leaves.
I got my neck pillow.
Wait, when DeMontis leaves, you're leaving, Ox?
I'm gone.
Wait, they did say that there's potential for him to get traded this summer.
Yeah, and Ox is prepared.
Where we go? Hey, where we going, big fella?
Oh no, bro, you ain't
staying here.
So if he were to hypothetically go to the Lakers,
that's too far.
No, I ain't doing that.
That's too far.
We're not doing that. Hold on, Mars. That's what we're not.
Anywhere but LA. Anywhere but LA.
Okay. Clippers.
Okay, my fault.
I could get with Golden State
for Zoo.
For the better player.
Facts. Zach Spath. Y'all don't want me to be in the Laker media cartel. Well, I'll tell you what. Hey, you know what?
All of a sudden,
we'll be knocking shit over, bro. This shit. You know what? Let me.
It'll turn into the LA riots again.
Yo.
Hey, chill.
Wait, chill. If Tatum leaves, would you leave with Tatum?
Get in with him.
If Tatum left, would you leave with Tatum?
Yeah, that's the only reason why I watch the Celtics anyway. I'm on record saying that. The reason why I know so much about the Celtics is because Jason Tatum doesn't miss a lot of games. That's why I watch them as much as I do.
If Tatum was slotted in his proper role, bro, he would win 5 or 6 rings. I'm not gonna lie to you. 5 or 6 rings.
I could see myself with a Luka jersey.
All right, y'all. Grande Jones sent through a members chat and said, "What's more important, a team defender or an individual one-on-one defender?"
I think you're only as good as the guys around you.
Team, every time.
I think they go hand in hand. That's a hard question for me to answer because I just think it goes hand in hand. You have to be a good one-on-one defender, but in the NBA with that level of scores, you everybody needs help. So It's just I think it just goes hand in hand. Good. I think that's a good question, but I don't know. I can't answer that.
Jalen King sent through a members chat and said, "Ignorant Ox is the best form of Ox."
100%.
100%. Why would you say that, Swiper?
Because that's when you go on your Chris Webber rants.
You're pushing ignorance, and I'm spitting basketball facts.
That's called it's called gaslighting, like you said, Ox.
They were gaslighting me, trying to convince me that Jokic is better than Chris Webber. What?
Clad Diamond said David Robinson and Ewing would be more interesting
in this era defensively.
Patrick Ewing, oh my God! Now that's a black hole.
Mm.
But defensively, before Ewing's knees started failing, he might be the best defender in the sport.
This super chat right here, Ron, is crazy. I'm gonna tell you why it's crazy. Because I liked the Celtics before Alan R was even born. You know what I'm saying?
I was Alan R, a Celtics fan who hates Jason Tatum and glazes Luke.
It's crazy.
It's so bad because he's rooting for the Lakers and then hates on Jason Tatum, but he's a Celtics fan. It's very funny.
I wasn't a Celtics fan, but I was a fan of the Celtics. Antoine Walker, Paul Pierce, and then when my dude KG went over there, I was full blown Celtics. You know what I'm saying? So I was a fan of the Celtics, not a Celtics fan, but I was a fan of the Celtics before Alan Narr was, before he was out of pull-ups. So let's not do this, Alan.
You was an Antoine Walker fan?
Shout out to Twan.
Antoine was cold. Antoine was cold, bro.
Shout out to
What's your problem?
Yeah, Mars, you alone on this one, Mars.
Wait, so you didn't like Glenn Rice either, I imagine.
They play nothing alike.
To you.
Antoine Walker and Glenn Rice play
when we were young, they might have well been the same player, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro.
I don't know about all that.
Glenn Rice and Antoine
Walker and Glenn Rice play alike.
Sure
what you think about that, Chip?
No.
Yeah,
I was 12. That's what I'm telling you. I was 12. That's what I thought.
See, but look, see, Swappy. You're the reason.
I didn't watch it at the time. But Antoine Walker has the worst shot selection I've ever seen. Like, I'm sorry, I can't watch that.
Worst
shot selection. I can't watch that and be
Twan.
Get real. So now you're telling me that Eddie Jones wasn't an all-star level player?
Who said that?
Nasty. Who said that about Eddie Jones?
I'm saying, do you not think Eddie Jones was an all-star level player either?
He was an all-star level player. He was an all-star.
That's my guy did. So Glenn Rice, Antoine Robinson, and Eddie Jones were my players, my guys. And I thought Glenn Rice, Antoine Walker were very similar. I like that number 41. And then, bro, I was a child, bro. Like, you know what I mean? I'm just watching. I'm just looking like, oh,
as you were
mama.
saying,
yeah.
Look at him.
Antoine Walker is a bad spectacle for me. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, but see, this is the problem though, because Swiper, since you were one of them dudes that didn't know ball when you were 12 and 13, we have national television. They be like, Ox, you're only 12. I knew ball.
Ox, I didn't have cable.
I grew up in the gym.
I didn't get cable until high school.
I grew up on my dad's bench. I was in the gym. I knew ball.
Yeah, Twan.
Swiper was a 12.
I didn't get cable until high school.
I did not know that.
Yo, swiping Ox.
It was 2K and live.
Swiping Ox. Y'all have done enough yapping for a lifetime today. Please.
Bro, you won the talk.
Friday was.
Oh my God. Kyle Martinez said, Here's my monthly Amends the GOAT member chat. Salute the panel. Mars, since February, Jalen's been consistently hooping. Maybe a couple bad games here and there.
Since November 27th, he's averaging like 23 points per game on like 36% from three, 44% from the field. Biggest issue is he stopped making his free throws. That's been bothering me. He was shooting like 87% for a large portion of the season, and then it's just gradually dropping. But yeah, I think Jalen Green's very clearly improved. His consistency is leveling up. He had a stinker against Miami last week, though. That was bad. But we won the game, so who cares?
Bam Gabe said, Bron's choice to Jokic's choice. This needs to be studied.
I preferred it when it was Bron's choice. But
why?
Because that's when I was like peak ESPN Mars. I was just hating, just trolling. It was fun. I'm trying to troll less these days. So now I'm listening. I am, yes.
You literally called me
a
hater.
Swiper, you don't know how it used to be. You don't know how it used to be. You weren't here in the dark.
How's that going on?
Dark days.
I mean, I think they were great days.
Those days were glorious.
But some people weren't a fan. But I'm trying to be more serious.
Shout out everybody that stuck around since I guess that's PC's 90 era. 90s or that was the 2000s for us? 90s?
What are we more nostalgic about? Probably like the early 2000s. This probably
early 2000s. Shout out everybody that's been around since the early 2000s and the 80s, back when Shaq, Dale, and JD was here.
Nah, that's like the 60s. That's like the 60s.
Wilton Bill.
Yeah.
What was the 80s? Because that was fueled by something else. So
Fit Jones said Jokic cooking Chris Webber.
I'm so sick of y'all.
Glazers in the chat.
Bunch of Glazers in the chat. No issue with Ox, but every time we talk Jokic, I'm like, oh my gosh, we're glazing Joker. Where's Weber's choice? What about that? What do you think that segment was?
Well, this is the last time we're going to talk about Chris Webber
every day.
No, it's not.
Every day from
we aren't going to talk about Chris Webber for a minute. No, we just don't.
All right, well, watch it.
I'm gonna forget all about Chris Webber in about 30 minutes.
Gunny with the members chat. Gunny said Jokic clamped versus Ayton in 21. He's not perfect.
He wasn't good in that series. So
he's the only one that made it to the conference finals to make it to the second round of next year. Like that was obviously like let's put context behind that year. Everybody else was hurt. Everyone else was hurt. That's what happened. The whole team was decimated. I'm telling you, everybody was exhausted from the bubble. I mean, I feel like that's objectively true. His worst series was 2020.
Did he play badly against the
Suns? His worst series was 2020 versus the Lakers. I mean, we can all agree with that. All agree with it.
Okay, but the 21 Suns.
No, he played well enough. He shot 50% from the field. Whatever. Move on. 25, 10, and 25, 10, and 6 in that series? I don't know. I can't remember.
He was egregious on. Let me see what Jokic averaged. And that doesn't even factor in the fact that Jokic and D-Book were taking, not Jokic, Chris Paul and D-Book were taking turns on him in the pick and roll.
Were they?
I wish that year didn't
He was
happen.
bad in the pick and roll?
Yeah.
No way he was bad in
21. No, it was horrible. Yeah. I wish that year didn't.
21 against the Suns. He averaged 25, 13, and 6, 48% from the field, 28% from 3.
Yep.
68% from the line. Goddamn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Exhaustion.
Yeah, and then was getting fried in the pick and roll.
They were CP3 and them. Yeah, they had a drop coverage for all.
Yeah, that's a bad series for you.
Trust me, I remember, bro.
Yeah, bad series. You can quarter space.
I remember. Well, thank God they were the only team to make it to the second round that year. Shout out. I wonder why nobody else could do that. The Lakers, the Celtics, and the Heat all got dog walked. Every single one of them. And they were all injured, including Denver.
Do not disturb Rick. Said, my opinion, Joker is top 5 offensive player of all time. The greatest big of all time. As offensive big. Or offensive big of all time as well.
Yeah, I think he's in that top 5 conversation. And I think he's clearly the greatest offensive big. But I do think he is in that top 5 round.
Well, Rick, you're just disturbed because that's just not true.
Who's the better offensive big in your opinion?
Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah, I think he's passed up Shaq at this point.
That's fine. I respect your opinion because Jokic is ridiculously good at basketball. So I respect your opinion. I just disagree.
Yeah, that's what, because Shaq is, I ain't gonna argue against Shaq.
Styles Blackman with the members chat. Styles said, shout out to Ox for turning the show up with his nonsense. It was great. I was agreeing with some of the points, and then he went too far as usual.
Show wouldn't be the same without you, Ox. Shout out my dog.
You better believe it. But this the thing, though. I was on to something, and I just wish maybe y'all would have reeled it in because I went a little too far. I shouldn't have called him Greg Ostertag. I'm sorry. I'll take that back. That's it. That's the
worst thing you said?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean that.
You didn't mean the Chris Webber stuff either?
I meant to when I said it, but I was wrong. He would not be Greg Ostertag. That was crazy. I shouldn't have said that.
Marcel Sansalone said, what Ox is saying, like Super Saiyan, is that is the same way I said I was a fan of the Warriors when they had Monte Ellis, but not a Warriors fan.
How do you think Monte Ellis would do in the league today?
Monte Ellis go crazy today.
I mean, he'd be good, but he would be like trying to think of a player that's like a low impact player, but a good numbers player, the guard.
DeMar DeRozan.
Cam.
Chill. You might. I mean, he'd probably be worse than DeMar, but he'd be about right there.
Oh boy, from the Nets, Cam Thomas.
He's more. He's like, someone said it in the chat. Damn, Tyrese Maxey. I do think Tyrese Maxey's a valid comp, but Tyrese Maxey shoot better. But that speed, that quickness, getting downhill. Tyrese Maxey's actually I like that.
Nixon 6 said, Chill, I thought you said the Knicks had no chance of making the finals. OG and McHale are cooking now. Celtics or Cavs would be afraid to see us.
Cool.
I don't know what y'all laughing at. Don't nobody want to play the Knicks. They might not beat the Knicks, but nobody wants to play the Knicks.
Well, the Knicks don't have a bye in round 1 because the Bucks won't see them. So that's
right.
They're gonna be well.
And that's of course if Milwaukee stay in that 6th spot. They could drop to the play-in tournament.
There's no way. They got.
They're like 4 games.
They're 4 games up. That should.
This sucks for Giannis, bro. I mean, this sucks for him.
Yeah, the Bucks are bad. I told you the stretch that the Bucks were going through, because I remember 2 weeks ago or whatever, when the Bucks were on their little win streak, I said the upcoming stretch where they played against teams like the Lakers and they had this tough schedule. I said, I'm gonna withhold my opinion on the Bucks until after this stretch. Yeah, the stretch ain't go great. I'll just say that. The stretch ain't go great. But now Dame is out for the year, so it's like all championship hopes are gone anyway.
And then Chill was trying to spread that the Pistons have beat the Knicks in the playoffs. Like,
I didn't say that they would beat them. I said,
you're right. You didn't say that. You're right.
I do think that it would be a fight, though. I don't think that the Knicks walking by them in 4 or 5 games. No, I think that series would be a lot more competitive.
Why are people so disrespectful towards Giannis, talking about he's a fraud and all that stuff? This is what I'm saying. Giannis is now in talks that I think people are just they're tripping.
Like talks like what?
Well, people are just I know folks.
It's
that
Jokic Glazers. Jokic Glazers.
No. It's SGA Glazers. They're saying SGA is past clear of Giannis at this point, and I'm just saying, like, I think that is woefully disrespectful.
I will absolutely have an SGA and Giannis conversation.
Well, I think you can have a conversation. That's cool, but I think there's context to why, like, Giannis is not regarded like higher at this point. I think
the indictment papers are out on Giannis, though.
Oh my God.
Unfortunately, but as you were saying, Ron,
but I just would have the conversation.
What you said, Mars? Do you truly not see the Rockets leaving the first round? Is there a matchup you'd want, and can you see the Rockets playoff rising?
I was actually on 2 very well-known Rockets fans, Will and Brad, on their channel discussing the Rockets playoff opponents. I think we have a shot against a lot of teams. I just think obviously the biggest issue is the half-court offense. If the half-court offense can be viable, whether that's hot shooting from guys like Jalen Green and Fred VanVleet, or this double big lineup is tenable. I do think there's matchups we like. Memphis would probably be ideal, hoping they drop into the play-in and they get that 7 seed. The Warriors is a team you don't want to see if you're the Rockets. The Nuggets, the Thunder are 2 teams I probably don't want to see. Everyone else is like you can look and believe in yourself. But yeah, the Rocket, all the indicators of like performing well against good teams, having an elite defense, doing things that win in the playoffs, like besides the half-court offense, Houston seems to like we seem to do it. Like our record against teams above 500, I think, is like the second best in the West.
Mm-hmm.
Our record against like just good teams in general is really good. Our record in clutch games is really good. We very rarely get blown out. Our defense is great. Like all the indicators besides half-court offense show that the Rockets probably should have a chance. But our half-court offense is just so concerning. So I don't know.
And Memphis is a game and a half out of the play-in tournament.
Yeah, I need them to drop to 7 because I like our chances against Memphis.
They can 100% go to pieces.
They drop to 7. We in business.
I hope y'all win that series. That'd be great.
Because you want to see us.
That'd be wonderful. I mean, second round. I might take the day off. Jamal, you want to sit 2 games?
All right, we got a super chat from Bob. Bob said, "Chill not been the same since the Giannis and Barkley take. Has had me feeling he's washed. Check further history, and damn, Chill, you've been washed for a while.
You ain't $5 ain't enough to call me washed. Not you. $5 is not enough to call me washed.
Chill isn't the Elite 8 of the PCL. So what does that say about the rest of the competition?
Is he?
We'll find out, won't we?
Is he?
We're gonna find out.
He was through before he even debated. No,
well, I don't know if he's through after he debated. We'll just have to see though.
If he's not through, and if SB makes it to the Elite 8, I forfeit.
Yeah, SB might get 2 people out of here. Chill out.
Yeah, if SB's in the Elite 8, I'm dropping out. Whoever plays me in the semifinal, in the quarterfinal, can have a bye.
Knocking down giants. Say shout out to David SB. Joshua Suraya Kumar said, "Ox, join the Luka stands. You may see Luka in a different light. We accept everyone. Pull up, Ox."
Why? And can I ask a question, Mars? Why is it such a big deal for people to think Luka should deserve MVP last year if he didn't even clear SGA? Why is that like a talking point?
Well, people think Kobe deserved it in 06 and he came 4th. So it's like, it's not about where he ended up coming because of the voters. It's about these guys are the fans. They don't have a vote. They believe Luka deserved it. Now, the voters didn't agree with them. But it's not about what.
Well, I think he objectively wasn't as good as the other 2 players ahead of him, too, but I don't know.
I mean, I think using the word objectively.
You had your chance, Swiper.
Yeah, I think using the word objectively in most of these conversations is true. But I mean, I understand the Luka case, but I think Jokic was the best player in the regular season last year. So Jokic would have been my pick. But
MP13,
you had 6 minutes to get that off, and you let Real Talk dominate.
MP, shout out to the people with the dominant mic.
Non-true point with the wrong stat, but sure.
I'm just talking this, but don't mind me.
MP13 said, "Can we talk about how slow and unathletic Booker looks this year? He looks like he has no burst at all in his movement, and he can't get to his spot.
Can I sum this up really quickly so we can move on? It's called uninterested. That's what it's called.
I mean, it could just be called aggression, but
I think it's. I think that's what we are.
He's also having an egregious defensive year, like really, really, really bad. So, shout out to D-Book.
Straw Hat Sale not only sent through super chats today, which is more than a lot of you guys. He also became a YouTube member today, which is more than a lot of you guys. So shout out to Straw Hat Sale and shout out to everybody that's liked the video and turned on their notifications. LeVar B. Ballin said Isaiah needs to be put in a facility. He wasn't scrapping. He was grabbing dudes' happy places. Arrest him.
I didn't know that.
Well, shout out to all the happy places.
I don't think he was trying to do that.
Yeah, he wasn't trying to do that.
Yeah, man, whatever takes you to a happy place, get there.
No, not whatever takes you to a happy place. If it's groping people, Ron.
No, we're not doing that, Ron. Anyway, as you were saying, Ron.
Pimp named Slickback said Isaiah Stewart is definitely not fake tough guy energy, or is not definitely a fake tough guy. Isaiah Stewart is a crazy nigga. He's the actual definition of crash out, where you end up in prison.
Yeah.
Definitely a crash out.
Yeah.
Rock Out Deuce said Memphis offense looked very good Saturday under Tomas. That defense got to stop over helping and giving up open threes.
I didn't watch the Grizzlies game, so
shout out Tomas. We'll probably talk about him some more tomorrow, but shout out to him. I like him and what he's done in the past. Winnie Hardaway said, according to the panel, Jokic isn't a better passer than Wilt. His block work mid, and he's inflation gray ghoster tag. Maybe them white folks got a point.
Winnie Hardaway.
I mean, to be fair, those are things that have been said on this panel. It's not like he just made them up. Like he did just those things have been said.
Wait, nobody said Jokic was mid on the block. Just by saying somebody's better than somebody on the block does not mean they're mid. On top of that, I already apologized for the
saying the gap between Hakeem and Jokic's passes is smaller than the gap between it's smaller than the gap between Jokic and Hakeem in the post. That's interesting.
The word mid never came out of anybody's mouth though.
Sure. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Ox.
We got a new YouTube member, Gerson Valentin. Hope I said your name right. Appreciate you for joining up, my man. Pimp named Slickback said apparently Giannis is headed for a breakup with the Bucks this summer. Where do y'all think he'd make sense? To me,
Thunder,
Spurs, and Rockets make a lot of sense.
Okay,
Thunder, Rockets, Spurs.
I just think it's interesting that you guys are running Giannis out of Milwaukee. Like Giannis never said anything about leaving Milwaukee. He never hinted anything about leaving Milwaukee. But you guys, when they traded for Damian Lillard, he signed an extension, which means he was in it.
Twice he threatened not to sign the extension unless they made it.
And then they traded for Damian Lillard, and he signed an extension.
What do they sign? What can they get now? They have no assets. They're kind of at the end of the era. Everybody's old. Dame has a blood clot.
It's a bad team, and I don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. That's where I stand on the Bucks.
They dumped AJ Johnson for nothing, and then he looks like he's a good player.
Oh, now y'all want to bring up AJ Johnson? Now we dumped AJ for nothing.
Well, I want to make it because I was very passionate about this when AJ Johnson got drafted. I said the Bucks getting him was pointless because he's not going to play for them. And they need to try and win now. AJ Johnson, guess what? Doesn't play for the Bucks, then gets traded for what, in my opinion, is a very small trade package. And now in Washington is getting an opportunity. It's like, well, this guy is actually really talented.
I tried to tell
y'all. You got back was Kyle Kuzma.
I tried to tell y'all back then, like it was going in one ear and out the other, that I thought AJ Johnson would be a solid player this year.
I told you Doc Rivers wasn't.
Well, yeah. You definitely acknowledge that. You definitely acknowledge that.
About this. I've never denied AJ Johnson's talent. What I said was the Bucks aren't going to use him, and it's a pointless pick for them. Not that AJ Johnson is a bad player. What I didn't know was that he could actually come in and contribute on a bad Wizards team. But like be viable this early on. I did think he was a couple years away physically. I still think he is not close to where he needs to be physically, but you can see the talent.
He's just so fast and so explosive. Like you can't. Like he's gonna get something.
He's very talented. The Bucks let him go.
Silly, but. Moving along, MP13 said, the more I watch the Cavs, the less I believe in them doing much of anything in the playoffs. I just don't like the shot diet from their guards.
I mean, it's a lot of pull-up jumpers. It's a lot of pull-up jumpers.
Which is what Donovan Mitchell is elite at.
It comes and goes. That's the thing. Like for any pull-up
what are you looking for from these guys? Darius Garland gets downhill with the best of them. He gets down, especially in mismatches. Donovan Mitchell is one of the best pull-up jump shooters in the game. Like, what exactly are you looking for in terms of a shot diet from these guys?
Probably just something more reliable. Can you get to the easy ones more consistently? Like Shay's gonna get to the free throw line a lot. Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland don't really do that. Shay's gonna finish at the rim at an elite clip. Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland don't really do that. So like that's I guess the concern. It's just they don't get the ones that's like, on every game you can count on this baseline level. It's whether or not Donovan Mitchell's three ball is going, Darius Garland floaters, all of those things, and they're small. Being small is a disadvantage. Like whether we like it or not, it's a disadvantage.
Okay, but well, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ron. We do, unfortunately.
DSG Piccolo said, "I almost forgot to say, Diddy FC, we up. Tumani FC, we up. Shaden FC, we up. Shaden is an elite paint finisher. Basically, the only three niggas that showed up to the Garden. Simons, 5 for 20. Nigga got me fucked up.
3 games out the playing spot, though, just so y'all know.
No, they're not gonna make it. I've been pushing that Denny propaganda for a minute. He's
even before he got to the Blazers, you was talking about Denny.
Denny nice for real.
Denny is dope, bro. Denny is dope.
You guys
he's a lot better than I thought. He's a lot better than I thought he was, bro.
You guys remember?
I'm woke on Denny now.
I remember when the 2020 draft, Denny Avdija was my number 3 pick. I thought he was the 3rd best prospect in the draft.
There was a Denny
Avdija, Anthony Edwards, and Denny Avdija. I thought he was that good.
There was a Denny Avdija and Josh Hart conversation at one point.
Well,
I still don't think that's that bad of a conversation. I do.
Yeah,
Denny's better.
They do different things. They do different things.
If Denny continues to develop as a scoring option like this, then I think the ceiling is different. I mean, Denny's putting himself. I mean, honestly, he's already showing stuff that Matas, like for me, is like doing. Like he doesn't have the athletic profile for Matas, but like from a scoring standpoint, he's really good. I don't know how sustainable that is.
We talk about Matas now too.
He is. I mean, Matas is obviously.
He will punch it on you, Ox. Yes, he will.
You talk about AJ Johnson and Matas.
Matas is longer than Denny.
March 31st.
I don't know for sure if he's more athletic.
I think explosive. I think he's more explosive than he is. Like that first
step. Get up faster and stuff.
I ain't one to just be going off nicknames, but Denny Avdija's nickname is Turbo for a reason.
He fast as hell.
Like he's getting by people. Like he's an elite driver. Like he's getting by people.
Hey, Mark, fuck driving. When he get that rebound and get the moving up the court,
like he's a one-man fast break.
Yeah,
that's why I think the Josh Hart comparison is actually kind of valid. Like they play kind of similarly in terms of that, like pushing the tempo, grabbing rebounds, grab and go. Like Josh Hart does more of like the role player things on offense, whereas Denny's more of like a ball handler, that type of thing. But that part of that
what's their core? Donovan Clingan, Denny,
Monty, Shaden,
and Shaden Sharp. Scoot too. That's nice.
The thing about it though, y'all, and I said this a lot. I think every season, everybody should try to get to a couple games. And the reason I say that is because it brings to light like the size of these dudes and the difference from when you see on TV, right? And when I went to go watch when the Kings came up here, and I'm looking at Denny. Denny's big, bro. Like his shoulders and stuff. Like he's not like a skinny.
How big is he legit? In terms of tall, how tall is he legit?
He like 6'8", I think 6'6". I can't say
so he's 6'5" or 6. He about a 6'7", 6'8".
6'7", 6'8". I would say so. I think, but I'm more so. I'm not even necessarily talking about height as much as I'm talking about just like thickness in like the shoulder and chest area. He's big. So and he's moving up that court. He's getting up that court fast.
Did he only 24? Nice. Did he? These next six to 7 years.
If he didn't break his leg, when did he break his leg? Yeah, was it his rookie year he broke his leg? I think he was on like there's a trajectory.
He got drafted to OKC, right?
Yeah, he got drafted to Washington.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought he went to Washington, got traded to OKC, got traded.
No, it was a Washington pick. If he didn't break his leg, like I think I was very high on him coming in. So when they got him at 9, I was like, this is a steal. I think there's still an avenue to where maybe he's not an all-star or whatever. I don't know. But like, he's a really, really good player, especially on like a winning team. Portland have to keep him. Portland have to keep him. If they're building a winning team, him, Shaden, Tamani, Malcolm Brogdon, and the pick that was Bob Carrington. think.
Yeah,
That was a great trade.
why?
That was a great
That's another
trade.
thing.
And I was saying Denny was their best player last year, and they just
Why
traded
would
him for that.
Washington? They gave up on Rui too fast for me too. Because Rui went for 2 second-round picks.
No, they didn't give up on him. They were ruining him. They were ruining
Well,
him.
I don't think Rui wanted to be there either.
No, they were ruining him.
I thought Rui was a good player, and I just
screwing him up.
That's crazy. And then Denny for nothing.
Well, they got AJ Johnson for nothing, so shout out to them. And that is going to be that is historically going to be one of the worst trades in the 2020s. I'm telling you, with AJ Johnson's better than Kuzma right now to me.
Well, I'm not very high on Kuzma, so that's fine.
If he got all the
Wizards also have a young core too. Like the Bob is good, Keyshawn George is good, Alex Sarr, Bilal, obviously, Jordan Poole. I still think like a good team needs to go and get Corey Kispert, but like they got some nice pieces over there in Washington as well.
Yep. Yeah, shout out to Washington. Mavs fan 06 became a YouTube member today. Shout out to Mavs fan. Pimp named Slickback sent through another super chat and said Bob Meyer said on ESPN that if the Warriors didn't sign KD, they would have gone after Al Horford and then traded Barnes for Paul George.
There's no way they could trade Harrison Barnes and get Paul George, right?
Trade Harrison for Paul George?
Yeah, there's. I don't know. Was Paul George a free agent or something? Sign and trade? I don't.
Potentially, I
can't remember the logistics of the 2016 offseason.
He was still in Indiana. He didn't move to he didn't move to Oklahoma
Paul
City.
George to where?
Until 19, right?
No, to Golden State in 2016, hypothetically. Was he a free agent or would it have to be a
trade? Paul George that was the so the Indiana, I think out of Indiana, that was is that a trade? I think that was a trade. I can't remember who was in the trade.
Yeah, Oladipo.
I don't think Paul George was never a free agent. I don't believe.
Yeah, I don't know. If Harrison Barnes could get you Paul George in 2016, then go for it, I guess, but I don't think so.
I'm gonna tell you, Oladipo was in Oklahoma City and he got moved to Indiana for Paul George. That's the way that
I don't hate that squad. That's a squad.
You know, the Nuggets offered they had offered, I think 2016, 17, right when Paul George went to the Thunder. The Nuggets, I think, had floated Gary Harris and Jamal Murray for Paul George at that point.
Would you have liked that?
I mean, I love Paul George back in the day. Who didn't though? Like PG was like,
he was that dude.
Yeah, he was a hooper and he was huge and like athletic as crap. Like, and I think Ox, once he came back from that leg injury, I mean, the next year after he came back, he was back to being all NBA Paul George. I mean, I don't know who didn't like
that was a bad injury. I was worried about his recovery.
Mm-hmm.
Julius Irvin said, "Can Cade make first team All NBA? And do y'all see an MVP and championship with the Pistons in the future?"
This is a conversation that I want to have with you guys at some point because that fifth spot on that first team All Pro needs to be filled. I think it's Donovan Mitchell, but it's a conversation that I want you guys I want to have that conversation.
Well, the names.
I know we late in the show, but I'd really like to have that conversation.
The names. When the season ends, we'll probably do it. Like the season ends in 2 weeks. We'll probably do.
I'm hearing Braun. I'm hearing Braun or Anthony Edwards. Is what I've been hearing the most. I think it's probably going to be Ant.
Justin Termini and them dudes the other day, they was pushing hard for Ant to get.
Man, just make the All NBA first team 4 people, man. Put 6 people on the second team. I'm sorry.
Straw Hat Sales said, "Do you guys value success / accolades or skill / ability more?"
Skill and success.
It's a combination of both. You gotta value the skill and ability a little bit more because you have to be a good player in order to, for the most part, to get those accolades. But I think the accolades also tell a big tale about, well, how talented and skills you were.
If I were to rank them, it would be impact, number 1, skill and ability, number 2.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Well, but maybe not accolades, but definitely success though.
I think
accolades. Define success. Like that's what
success.
So for instance, look at Jason Tatum. Right, look at Jason Tatum. Yeah. I'm just talking about last year because he did get the Larry Bird before that. But Jason Tatum had extreme success last year, but Jaylen Brown got the accolades.
Well, no, Jason Tatum still got accolades last year. He got first team All NBA and he got an NBA championship.
Hey, right. But no, I'm talking about
Finals MVP, conference
finals MVP. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so those accolades, like, yeah, I got a ring. So, but everybody on the team got a ring. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it is an accolade, but you didn't get Finals MVP, you didn't get Eastern Conference Finals MVP, but you still had major success. Like the ring is success. You know what I mean? But the
I got what Ox is saying. Like the team stuff is success, the individual stuff is accolades. That's the
yeah. And I mean, and that's just that could be a wrong definition, but I'm just trying to, you know,
that makes sense. I mean, for me, impact and success are like they're basically like synonyms. It's just like your impact on the success is more important than the actual success, if that makes sense.
And
like
also,
if you're more impactful but you don't win, and someone else is less impactful but they do win, I don't evaluate the person who won higher just because they ultimately won.
Yeah.
So that's where I
that's an old head thing to do, Mars. You know,
at some point I want to have a discussion about
only us old heads do that. So you don't want to get caught up in
my old soul.
Ray B sent through a super chat and said, Ox officially is in the Yappers Hall of Fame after that rant. Might be on the Mount Rushmore with Swiper.
Is there
after what Swiper and Jordan just did on Friday? Y'all
Jordan
keep
and
me
Swiper.
out. Swiper, don't.
What happened on Friday? I forgot.
You yapped for 2 hours and then left as soon as the time. Bro.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Damn,
Mount
Rushmore.
yeah,
you did. Yeah.
Who on PC is not a yapper though? I just want to, for real context. No, Mars, you are a liar. Chill is a yapper. Mars is a yapper. Ox is a yapper. Ron is
How am I a yapper?
No, bro. You are such
I tell uncomfortable truths. I say the things that y'all are scared to say. That's not yapping.
I'm
not
goes
a
on
yapper.
rants
I'm not
all the time. And he is a contrarian for no reason, on purpose. It's funny. It's funny. You will be a contrarian. You are a yapper. You might be a lesser tier yapper, as Chill would say. But everyone on PC is a yapper.
I'm not a yapper. Everything I say with purpose. I'm not a yapper. S tier yappers
there's
like
a method to his madness.
Gifted and Pen are like the S tier of yap. And like everyone else
Swiper's in that tier too.
Ron, you're in it. You just don't.
It actually is really called the Swiper tier. That's what the S stands for.
All right, bet. The thing is, Ron, you don't get in it because every time you say something boneheaded, we clown you for it. So you try to be quiet. But then as soon as you say something crazy, as soon as you say something
as good as your last episode. Who got clowned today?
You. I was good with a 1 versus 4. He said you only as good as your last episode. Is crazy.
Pimp named Slickback said, "Who do you guys think is the next breakout guy who might get traded? Like Halliburton, Oladipo, Harden, not necessarily Harden level breakout."
Cam Whitmore.
Yapping. 20 Hardaway has it right. That's the Mount Rushmore yapping right there. Mars is on there, 100%.
What did he? Let me read what he said. Where is it?
Swiper, Jordan, Mars.
I don't see it. Whatever. I see it. Swiper, Jordan, sneaky pick. Shut up. But yeah, Cam Whitmore.
Shaq's a yapper too, by the way. Shaq's a yapper. Like, who's not a yapper? Everybody's a yapper.
I don't be yapping, but that's besides the point. I just be right, and people just be calling it yap. But it's what it is.
Peyton Watson's not an on-ball defender.
Speaking of yapping, y'all, Black Moon Swordsman sent through. All right, Chills.
I got a bounce, fellas.
All right, brother.
All right. Black Moon Swordsman sent through a super chat and said, "Spider monkeys are real life animals as well."
They are, but there's also a Ben 10 animal. You know, if you didn't watch Ben 10, I get it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
She wasn't tapped in.
Did you watch Ben 10, Ox?
I was playing basketball.
So was I.
Think Jones said, "When Ox starts capping, he sounds like he yell whispering." Are you yell whispering, Ox?
No, that's just my voice, I guess.
I'll keep a sign out for that. When you yell whispering, that means you capping.
I remember back in the day when I was a youngster, when I used to be on the phone cupcake, and it was this girl said I sound like Teddy Pendergrass and Barry White. So, you know, that's just a smooth voice on it.
So now you serenading the person you're debating against in the crowd? That's weird. That's strange.
You gotta do what you gotta do to get the victory.
I feel it. D-Bell said, "Somebody take Swiper's mic. The glaze is crazy, and defense should not be used in the same sentence. Respectfully."
If you're allowed to say Matty Johnson was a defender, I'm allowed to say Joker's a defender. So everyone can hush. Everyone can hush. Everyone, including Mars. Everyone.
I've never called Matty Johnson.
I know you did this. But you can catch the bullets too. I'm just saying you didn't say it, but whoever said
this is how I know I don't be yapping, because I don't partake in all of you guys' tomfoolery. Like Ox was yapping about Chris Webber and Jokic, and then Swiper decided to start yapping about Jokic defense. I just knew both of them were yapping and stayed out of it, and then asked questions when they needed to be asked to just get to the bottom of the yap. But I do not yap.
Hey man, all I know is I was the voice of reason today. That's all I know.
Does anyone remember the Jalen Green segment in a long time? Yes, and you started that nonsense, and it lasted for an hour. I remember being there.
We haven't had a Jalen Green segment in a long time.
Because you came up to fight.
Because I'm a reformed yapper. I used to yap. I absolutely
reform yappers.
But I'm reformed.
Zero just vibing said, so would 2000 Shaq be an okay rim protector today? Huh?
Man, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, bro. I don't have the same opinion as everyone else about Shaq's defense. Apparently, up here.
Yeah, you just have the wrong one.
I'm sure. When I listen about Shaq's dominance, the defense is not brought up at all. But shout out.
The rim protection should be.
Alan L said that comment of the week was spitting. Weber not even a better player than Embiid on one knee. If we are being for real.
Alan has never watched Chris Webber play basketball, so let's just keep.
Who's better, Chris Webber or Joel Embiid?
On one knee, Chris.
No. Forget the one knee part. Who's better?
Peak to peak. I got Chris over a lot of people, bro.
Is
peak to peak? I got Chris over.
Joel Embiid one of them.
Joel plays defense, man.
So you trying to convince yourself?
No, I'm just thinking about it. I just don't want to say something I don't mean. I don't want to say something I don't believe, and I'll probably take Joel. If you know what, if we had peak Joel in 2002, the refs couldn't have cheated us. You know what I'm saying?
So Joel Embiid, Chris Webber, Jokic.
Jokic isn't that far down. Jokic is a hell of a player, bro. He just doesn't do anything on that side of the court.
Yeah,
Jokic is amazing, bro. He's fantastic. I really don't got nothing bad to say about Jokic. I just wish he played defense.
Well, you might not, Ox, but Your Highness Charles does. He said, I swear Jokic and Nuggets fans are the worst fan base in the NBA space right now. They think they know everything and get angry when anyone disagrees. Yap Kings.
Yeah, Swap, you really got upset, bro. You was really kind of pissed off. Like
I feel like we were having a spirited debate, but if my friends up here feel that I was upset, I want to apologize to them. I realize that not everyone up here is
left the camera. You turned off your camera.
Let me apologize.
You were turning red, Swiper. You were the same color as your hat.
Let me apologize. Okay, I want to apologize to all my friends up here who are not from the mud.
You called someone a delusional poop.
Poop, it's a way to not curse. I was trying to be respectful. You know what I mean? I think you
didn't even do no breathing exercises with me. So I tried to tell you. Into your nose.
Shout out.
Out to your mouth, bro.
Black Moon Swordsman said Joker versus Shaq versus Kareem versus Wilt offensively in today's game. I need answers 1 through 4. Who y'all got?
I don't care about today's game, to be honest. So I'm gonna just do what they were in their time. That's what I'm gonna do. Jokic 1, Shaq 2, Kareem 3, Wilt 4. So in that order. That's what I would do. Kareem and Wilt is actually kind of close though. So I'll flip a coin, I guess.
Jokic 4, Shaq 3, Wilt 2, the GOAT 1. There y'all have it.
Shaq, Kareem, Wilt, Jokic.
D-Bell said Joker is going to get played off the floor because of the lack of defense. And he would have to go up against actual offensive real bigs in whatever era he's talking about.
Yeah, Jokic is not getting played off the floor. So I'm 1,000% confident in that.
All right, y'all. And last but certainly not least, of course, it's none other than pimp named Slickback. He said these era debates are pointless because why are we dropping someone in an era without knowledge? Jokic coming into the 90s isn't shooting threes or running offense.
Well, I mean, they're giving him the ball in the post, and then teams are going to double team, and he's going to make reads because that's how the offense is ran. So it doesn't have to be this Jokic, I guess, I don't know, whatever you think they're running, flex offense, Princeton, whatever you think they're doing. It doesn't have to be all of that. It's just he's going to get post touches, and they're going to send doubles, and he's going to make the best reads that anyone in the league would make.
All right, y'all. It's been a hell of an episode. Shout out to all the yappers. Shout out to Mount Rushmore. Shout out to all the Glazers of whatever fan base you are. And shout out to the Spider Monkeys. Tonight, what? Who? You want to answer this question?
Well, nah, Swipe is gone. I just wanted to tell everybody that Swipe can't.
I'll lift you.
Yeah. That's pretty much it.
Well, Ox, you have some other lifting that you need to be concerned about tonight at the Sweet 16 of the PCL March Madness stage. Y'all make sure to tap in tonight and then make sure to pull up to the after party on Playback. We will catch y'all soon.
I'm about to cook